It is 1:52 a.m. Hold on. Am I doing this right? It is 1:52 a.m. Saturday wee hours in the morning. August 23rd, 2025. Am I doing this right? Who the heck knows? I'm in the dark room. You know the dark room when I took photography in high school? Oh, Felix Unger inspired that major. Photography and journalism in high school. And we had a dark room. I don't know if you're young watching this. Yeah, we used to develop pictures a whole nother way, but that's sort of how I feel in this dark room. And hot. I have to cut off the fan, ceiling fan, so my candle doesn't go out. And my cigar. Add water in case I get parched. This is going to be the Margo video. But Lord Lib, my mom's half-sister, her other half-sister, that made such an impact on me in my formative years growing up. And let me tell you, such an impression on my young mind that she always seemed grown to me, not necessarily mature, not with the name she called me as a kid and an adult. She called me one name. I used to look at Like It Is Grown Up on with Gil Noble. I share Gil Noble. Hold on, something for Gil Noble. I share Mr. Gil Noble. A TV addict then and now, but now it's more of a YouTubian. Shout out to Dr. Umar. I need to do a video for him, but not dissing him. I'm not part of that. No. But what I was about to say. Yeah. So, Like It Is started out as punishment because TV, me and snacks and TV is my childhood. I went outside to play too, roller skating, hopscotch, double dutch. I digress. But Gil Noble. When I'm on punishment, I can't watch TV at all. I have to watch only what mommy assigned. And, only what mommy assigned. Hold on, let me see. Is this thing acting right? Pure survival. Did it act right? Okay. Yes, I could only watch what mommy assigned as a little girl when I was on punishment. And Like It Is with Gil Noble was one of those programs. So, Lib, mommy's other half-sister, second from the youngest, it was 6 of them. And 3 are left. Yeah, I share my uncle. Oh, grandma. I share. Okay, pour a little libation. So this Lib used to call me a name, and I attributed the name to what racists, pale racists in the South will call, FBAs. And if you don't like that term, I don't know what to say. We're happy. Tariq Nasheed coined it. He has on his website. He explains what FBA is: Foundational Black Americans. And I know about that. I studied with the Moors and Black in Law, and I studied law with school. I just knew I was gonna be a lawyer. I know what high school journalism, photography, and then I got interested in law and then fine arts with the acting. I know you just was in college and school bouncing all around. Yeah. Got to find your niche, your groove. Then I wanted to be the Black Jennifer Hart, Heart to Heart. You saw that T-shirt? Not T-shirt, Lord Jesus. That TV show? I'm still groggy. I woke up not that long ago. Anywho, the point. This is Margo's video, but some things I was like, oh, how could I forget that one? It's just so many disses that Lib done lobbed at me and my mama, and just very high, very, very critical. She was. Again, we've been excommunicated 20 years, so I don't know if she's still that critical. But according to the psychic readings I get, and the IFA readings and the readings I get, yeah. And God knows what else behind the scenes. And if my readings are correct, it's very still scary. I mean, do people... You hear this with racists. And let me get this out the way. The way I view racism, you can read Lauryn Hill's blog on her Tumblr about racism. I think she wrote it in 2013. It's still there. I checked recently. Yeah, that's my take. Not to make this video too long. I don't think Margo should have a 3-hour video. Like Lib done had 3 hours apiece for 3 videos. The impact she's made on the family. And then Lib, you say I ruined the family. You wouldn't allow that power. How? When everyone was scared and listened to you. You have to have power to ruin families. You know how to pale people broke up families on slave plantations and allegedly is still in practice with foster care and God knows whatever you can look up on YouTube and never mind. I don't have power to ruin any family. And if I had that power, I wouldn't apply it as that. I just, no, no. But the black sheep is deemed, and I'm a distant black sheep. I'm a black sheep trying to get the hell away from them. Anytime I had to move back home with mommy, it was due to financial reasons. Rent in New York is pricey now. It was pricey then, depending on how much money you made. You know what I'm saying? Oh Lord. So yeah, I relish distance when dissonance, pop up. You know what I'm saying? So, but she used to call me a name, and I would hear the name on Like It Is, because great. It's Like It Is on YouTube with Gil Noble. I gotta see. But yeah, started off watching it during being punished, and I was like, this don't feel like punishment at all. Even with books, mommy would make me read books and write her book report to prove I read it because she done read it. We had a huge library in our house growing up all the time. Even in Harlem, books, 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 always, always around. Thank you, mommy. And at first, it feels like punishment again because you want to watch what you want to watch. But after a while, I'm like, no, I'm really into this doggone show, Gil Noble. So I heard the epithet, and when Lib, the aunt, would call me that, I'm like, I'm not racist. And then because she would look at me with a blank expression. So come to find out, it was aesthetic reasons she was calling me that. I'm like, that's how she sees me? Well, maybe I need to get more sleep, but never mind. I don't know. People don't like the ditzy frequency, but for me, it saved me from. I don't know. It just made me more resilient. Not well. There was a saying back in the day, and my mother would say it: "Don't sweat the small stuff." Now we have observe, don't absorb. Mommy would just say, just don't internalize what people say. Don't take it on. They're trying to make you wear a coat. Don't wear the coat. Take the coat off. Donate it to Goodwill. Just be good. And keep your willpower strong. Was brilliant, Mom. Thanks. Don't argue with them. Don't debate them. People get paid for debates. They win trophies. So if there's no desired prize, don't even enter the. And that's the thing. Why do bullies feel like they won when you entered no competition with them? I don't know. But she always appeared adult. So in one spiritual reading, the reader kept saying, no, this is a little girl. This is a little girl touching your mother's stomach with these witches. Allegedly. Again, these are with psychic readings for entertainment purposes only. I'm like, because she was like, were you babysat by a little girl? I'm like, no, my babysitters were old ladies, from what I can recall, all the time, older than my mom. So, I went to my mom, like, did a little girl that babysit? The point is, I couldn't even ever see her as a little girl. We're only, 12 or 13 years apart. But when you're a little girl and the woman is in her 20s, it just, I don't know. Especially if she's in her 20s and your mom seemed to yield to her. She seems grown. Just, I don't know. I'm glad, our last argument I kept repeating, but you're the one I looked up to. I kept repeating it. If I'm that way, it's because I was mirroring and modeling you. But still, I'm not deemed a powder keg, and who the hell fears me? You know what I mean? So, anyway, but I wanted to include this one. Let me do it in order. Uh, 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 I'm gonna pretend you didn't hear the previous videos with lib videos. They're all long. They're for like long road trips. They're good for psychology students, majors, psychology professors. Tweet them. Do they still say tweet? I don't know. But if you're in psychology classes, I think all my videos are very great for sociology classes, anthropology classes. Yes, you're studying the Black American family experience, any type of Cinderella classes, Black Sheep classes, going and tweet. Do they still say tweet? Uh, get this to those professors. Yes, yes. For me, it's venting and pontificating and therapy, just pouring. Of course, you can talk to hubby about it, but he didn't grow up with, can you believe my husband never got a beating? And he's from the South. I'm like, you never got a spanking? He was like, no. And he was like, I ain't doing anything to get a spanking. I'm like, since when is that a prerequisite for you to get your ass whooped back in the day? But, holdover from the slave plantation. Did you get Dr. Joy DeGrew's post-traumatic slave syndrome? how we treat each other, how the Caucasoids treat us then and sometimes and now. And Nas, what Nas is going through. Let me, Nas get his own video. Oh, I shade Nas. Nas, Liv told me your godmother was one of her friends. Never mind. Like Nas is going to hear this. But I know for a fact you're a beautiful human being. Because Liv told me. I don't know, maybe because she's a fellow September Virgo. I don't know. No, but Nas is beautiful. Let's save that for his video. Anyway, but where was I? Oh, my boosting binges and my teen years and coming up age years. You really care how you look. Lord, Dr. Dahudi Ma'ara. He used to be on YouTube. Taurus out of California. I wish he would come back, but he's not. He said he's not. Taurus. Stubborn. The thick signs are stubborn, but Taurus seem to get the bad rep of being the most stubborn of the four thick signs. Those signs are on the Wheel of Fortune card for a reason. Look up in the upper corners, the symbology. Those are thick signs. The Wheel was that 21? Yeah, 21 card. The four thick signs is on another card too. Major Arcana. What is the other card? Well, you can see all four thick signs in the corners. And corners are angles. You know what I mean? Showing up. What's the 90-degree angle in astrology? Angle, intense, 45-degree. Back to the point. But what is this? And I'm an astrologer and a tarot reader. What? How I don't remember this. Is it the 10? What is a 10? The 10. No, the 10 card is bad. What is bad? So I can't remember the other four thick signs. It ain't bothering you. It's bothering me. Anyway, back to Lid. So and mommy always wanted to have that family vibe, family discussions and da. I guess she still was trying to feel like family with her family. Forgive her. But the boosting thing, the whole story of the boosting thing would be in the Friends video. What about your friends? I should have never went back. It's a kiki now and afterwards, but in the moment, like, why did I go back in the store with her? Jesus. We should have waited for her ass outside. Never mind. We got caught. Never got caught until we brought her along. And I recently spoke to her while we were in our 50s, and she had a chance to rise to the occasion. And my sister, let's just say that for the friends and siblings videos. But I got caught boosting. They did overnight in the pokey because they didn't have night court in Long Island. And they'll tell you, why you didn't do this in the boroughs? They got night court out there. 3 different people, adults, okay, because I'm a teenager now. Why you came out to Long Island with this? I'm like, oh, jeez. You just sit there like, I can't believe this shit. But any event. So after that, you come on home, mommy's disappointed, and you think you're grounded, but punishment. And you just think it's over. No, it's not over. You're in your room, you're eating cookies, looking at TV. Because I'm gonna look at TV till she announced the grounding. It's usually 2 weeks. Sometimes a week if I'm lucky. No TV. And Papa, am I too loud? How you doing? I just woke up from a nap. I just get so groggy back there. Oh God, sleepy-itis. Lupus zaps my energy. Fibromyalgia. Well, that stuff zaps my energy. I should take my neem. I'm running low on neem too. I had to order more. Oh, I'm getting parched. I should get cold. My water done got room temperature, which I hear is healthier, but it's hot as the cootie brown. Because I got to cut the fan off because I want to blow out my candle. But yet I'm sitting here hot. Sweat, maybe the sweat would be good. Get out the toxins. Venting is getting out toxins, and the Lord knows sweating is too. Okay, back to the point, y'all. So, talking to hubby. So, well, if you don't like hyperbolic, Evira, Rose Nyland, Edith Bunker, Chrissy Snow, Sinclair, that energy, which is Hyoka empaths, if that, or just plain Hyoka, per my study, if that energy irritates you, click off. Okay, click off, Lord. If frenetic energy, frenetic, friendly, and harmless, if that energy irritates you, click off, click off, click off. Okay, so did they click off? Yeah, I'm hoping. All right, so yeah. So yeah, in my room eating cookies and snacks, and then you hear the voices downstairs, and one voice I recognize as Liv, her then husband, Uncle S. He's a math teacher and whatnot, and he always was nice to me till he thought I was laughing. I'm laughing at the TV, really paying him no mind. He was very nicer to me than Lib, but just that type of uncle. You know, he played the bass. That's how they met. He's a bass player, and she used to sing the '70s. And the way she used to talk about Shaka Khan, oh my goodness! But yet, sing her song, "Ain't Nobody," just sing it well. I wouldn't, talk back to adults when you're a kid. But I'm like, why does she sing her music if she don't like her? But hush, Shaka Khan, if you hear this, yeah, I'm not sure if you met her back in the '70s. I don't know. But she probably feels different about you now. You know what I mean? But okay, back to the point. So yeah, I hear Uncle S's voice downstairs. I'm like, they're here? I'm like, oh gosh. Mommy's calling a family meeting. Why? Because my mom was very, very honest. I mean, to a fault. And she wasn't honored for it. You know, but back then you would call it goody two shoes. Ain't nobody perfect. As if mommy was that way and consciously striving for perfection. No, she's that way because she's that way. Shout out to all the good people who are like, well, I know no one's perfect. I never said I was. What is this? It's projection. Psych 101 class. It's probably what Nas is going through. It's just, oh gosh. You're not trying to be perfect or say you're perfect, but people who feel they're more flawed than you will make you feel bad for just being a decent person. My mother went through that a lot. Oh, mama. But, you hear the voices, and I'm like, oh, God, she's going to call a family meeting to discuss my boosting binges. Oh, God. And this is before, I'm a teenager. It's before I met my first husband. So it's before we had the apartment and they burglarized it. Of course, Liv said she had nothing to do with that. But all I know, as the victim of being robbed, all you really know is your things are gone. You're not going through your mind like, well, who did this and who did that and who did. All I know is my things are stolen. I wasn't there, and now my things aren't either. They're trying to bully you. They're trying to bully your mind to regard that crime the way they need you to regard it. It's like being twice victimized. Like, is this mental psychological warfare? What the hell is this? So y'all want to keep the free score, all the goods, and you want my mind too? Are these people crazy? They must don't study astrology with fixed signs. Lord, all that do is make me more analytical. Not like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it. And then if I'm a nobody and inferior, what do you care what I think? You get it? Oh yeah, she'll be yelling that these are all lies. And I don't know, in the age of Aquarius, I don't know if people still believe bullies like we did in the age of Pisces, where might was right. They can just bully their logic. And Lauren Hill, her Tumblr blog, her take on racism, because she says it. Might is not right. Right is right. Miss Hill, I love you. But yeah, so I don't know. Cat Williams said it. All lies will be exposed. But to me, it's just making the bullies act even more crazier. I won't get into politics. If I can help it on this channel, Lord knows. I don't even want this to be no political channel, Lord Jesus. But I think with bullies is all political. Not in the Caucasoid world, but the bully is muscling in their take. And if you're confident in your take, another thing is weird too with bullies. They can get the majority believing them, but it doesn't mean anything until they force you, the subject, that's their target, to believe them. What Kenya said of Portia calling her on the phone. Kenya was like, it was like I was in an alternative universe or something. She's like, no, something with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I digress. And she was on the phone like, no, I didn't say it. And she was like saying Portia was trying to make her say she said it. She was like, but I didn't. It's very strange. A former friend did that. I gotta say that for the friend's video. You're on the phone like, what? It's like the climax. I don't want to compare it to SEX, but it's like Panic, the late Panic, he said that. Beef is about becoming one or making you agree. But it doesn't matter how many others they get to agree, which to bullies, votes matter. Oh, yeah, I don't believe you need more people. Okay, you got more people. Go on with, oh, Lord, what they said, a lie gets around the planet 3 times before, while the truth is just putting their pants on. Just the truth has no beginning. It's from the eternal plane. The truth has no beginning, But lying bullies want to make sure the truth has an ending. That's for damn sure. Especially the age of Aquarius, where Aquarius use math. 4 plus 4 equal 8. No emotions. Aquarius don't mix logic with emotions. Aquarius use technology. You know you can't have water in their computers and phone. Do they have underwater phones? The point I'm trying to make is water and technology is a no-no. Emotions and that air sign. I digress. So I'm up in the room having my cookies and snacks, enjoying the TV before the punishment is announced. And I hear the voices in the living room. I'm like, oh God, this is not over. And they're talking and they're talking. And then there's other voices I don't recognize. What's her name in the book? Patrice, my high school friend Patrice. Oh gosh, I know you didn't want the pseudonym Patrice. I had to talk you into it on the phone back in the day because Patrice Russian is a Libra like you. She was like, I don't like Patrice. I'm like, why? It's a nice name. You remind me of Patrice Russian, not the music, but that ladylike thing, the Libra, the high, never mind, that'd be in a friend's video. So it's Patrice's grandmother and her godmother. And I'm in my room like, what in the name of Jesse James is going on? I'm like, oh my God. But that's mommy with the Libra thing. Libra, the rules counseling and meetings and seventh house stuff. All right, so I am in my room like, I hope they don't call me downstairs. Just let the adults talk. Wishful thinking. So they call me downstairs. I'm like, oh, God. And I come downstairs and all the stuff Patrice, I almost said her name, all the things Patrice stole. Okay, when we got caught for boosting, they just grabbed me and what's her name in the book? Kia, pseudonym Kia. They just grabbed me and Kia. They didn't grab Patrice security. And he said it to the other security, his colleagues. He was like, I wasn't sure about the third one. Patrice, girl, you were lucky. You always. You know that lucky one in high school? But anywho. So I'm looking at the floor, all of Patrice's stolen goods. Her score was on the floor. Oh, that rhymed. I was like, what is Patrice thinking? And me and Patricia spoke about this on Facebook Messenger. She was like, "It must have been your mom," because I don't know how she got caught at home. I don't know, because once you get home, you put your things in the closet, going about your day, and they had her fly anyway. Patrice was fly before we started boosting, so I don't know if they would just be going through her closet randomly. I don't know. She lived with her mom and grandma. Okay. So, but her mom wasn't there. I share you. Her mom, it's just the good memories. But any event, and I share to her grandmama too. I share. Just gosh, the 80s, man, oh man. But anywho, so should I pour a little libation? I share, I share, I share, I share, I share. So you just get pour a little libation, thinking of the past and the elders. So I come downstairs wearily. And then I'm standing, and my mom's like, "Have a seat." I'm like, oh, gee. Only minor in the tribunal, and they're going into the things. And your mom is so honest. Why are you stealing and embarrassing her good name? And she didn't raise you this way. You're going through all of that. I'm like, oh, gee. I wanted to say what the prostitutes told me in the jail last night. We on stolen land, okay? But I knew that from the books mommy had in the house. Do y'all harangue the Caucasoids who benefit from all the stolen land? But you can't say that because you don't talk back to elders back then. You just don't do it. And then that would even make sense to them. Like, why are we talking about Caucasoids that stole land? We're talking about you boasting in Green Acres, okay, is what we're talking about. Okay, it's funny now. It wasn't funny in the moment. So the grandma's thinking I'm influencing Patrice. I'm like, we don't influence Patrice. Is it because you're bigger than her? It's plump. And Patrice was Patrice is still slim. She was very skinny as teenage, but fly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we adore. Lord, did I just say her name? Sweet Jesus. I don't even know how to edit these videos. Y'all ain't got no traction on this channel, so just calm down, okay? Patrice. Oh, did I say Patrice? Jesus. I can't rewind it to find out while I'm recording. Anywho, so she thinking that I'm influenced her to boost. I'm like, no, she taught me. That'd be all in the memoir, those details. But the point of the matter, at the end of that tribunal, Mom looks at me and go to your room. So I'm knowing the punishment is going to kick in. Just, I don't know the days. I don't know if it's a week or 2 weeks. Hell, it could be 3 weeks. I don't know. But my mind goes, go back and look upstairs and look at, this is not, I didn't have cable in my room. This is regular linear TV. But it's like, go upstairs and look at all the TV you could look at with all your snacks before she comes upstairs and tell you what days and what's what. Do you have to write a book report? You have to have extra chores because I always do the dishes. I do the bathroom on Saturdays. Just you have set chores and then there's extra chores when you're on punishment. Oh, jeez, punishment. Oh, gosh. Mercy. Well, it's better than the beating and the punishment. She had slowed down with hitting me when I got my upper teen years. I guess she kept looking at Roots, repeats of Roots coming on. And this is barbaric. I'm not doing it to my babies no more. I don't know. So I'm up in my room looking at the TV like, I just can't believe what happened downstairs. Oh, God. Oh, did I mention that insert the Uncle S thing with the music and didn't finish? Quickly. I'm laughing at what's on TV, and he threatened me thinking I'm laughing at his music. I think he was practicing the bass in the living room. This is in their place in the Bronx, Colgate Avenue. And I looked at him like, what? Again, you don't talk back, but you know, you're looking bewildered. And I give Lib credit that moment. I recall her saying, she's laughing at TV. But that's when I just saw him differently. That moment was, because I have a conscience, even as a teen, I'm my mother's child. So I had and have a conscience. So when Lib asked me to, allegedly, to help her cash checks that bore his name. And I didn't think it was so bad. They broke up by then. You know, I was like, what is her ex-husband? I don't know. But I'm not even realizing she's asking me to commit a federal crime as a teenager. Maybe that's because I'm a teen. But racism, they see you as an adult at 16. Okay? I known that from the boosting binges. Okay? Because Kia was 15. Her birthday was that next day. Oh, that'd be in a friendship video. And she was like, take me out from Brooklyn. My birthday's tomorrow. Let me go in her place. It was a kiki. Just never mind. Funny as hell. Not in the moment you're scared as hell, but we talked about it as adults back in the day. No, that'd be in a friendship video. But shout out to Brooklyn. Everything. She'd be like, I'm from Brooklyn. I can handle this. Leave her alone. Papa, you know I lost my necklace? Do you see a necklace around the house? And I don't remember losing it. Isn't that strange? I just started rubbing my neck and said, where's my necklace? I hope I didn't lose it out in the world. If you see it. Did you ever find your necklace? What in the... Nothing expensive. I don't buy expensive things from family robbed me. But it's still beautiful mementos. It's unique. It'll be unique because, hell, I'm unique. But I just can't... You ever lost jewelry? And like, I don't remember even it coming off. I don't know. You're hurt, but not that hurt because it wasn't pricey. Ever since fam robbed me, I don't buy nothing expensive. No. If you see me with something that you assume is expensive, I assure you it's not. Not the hell if we bought it. No. I said I lose anything, it wouldn't be pricey no more. And it stops you from sort of boosting too. Because even though that was free 99, it still was a pricey article, garment, or whatever. It was expensive. The stuff my baby daddy gave me, he put on layaway, especially jewelry. So he paid for that. And the boosting, not the boosting, the burglary. Anything paid for baby daddy and me, things I had on layaway as well. But never mind. The largesse that they stole. Okay, back to the point. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about my necklace because my energy is on it and that's priceless. I can't believe I lost my necklace. I don't know. I'll be looking for it. That's probably be my catalyst to cleaning, the excuse to get busy cleaning because now I want to find it. I hope I lost it in the house. You know, you clean your energy off before you throw things away or donate them, whatever have you. The clean and then spiritually clean and then you donate it or you throw it away. You know, is what was taught to me. Okay, back to what I was saying. Oh, now my mind is on the necklace. I'm getting moving on along. I'm parched. Hold on, sinuses. All right. I'm back up in my room, and Lib comes up the steps and comes in my room. She doesn't even knock. She just comes in. Just again, the 80s, I didn't know the word narcissist. but just the gumption, the bold, the gall. And again, in my era, I'm Gen X. You don't talk back to adults, and I'm just in bed, and it's she's not even saying hi or what she's about to do. No words, but it's a sinister snicker, a sinister snicker, like the Joker's laughing. The Joker had a wife, that type of low brow laughing, and I'm looking at her like, huh? She goes in my closet and start pulling clothes, and I'm like, Ma. And my mom comes in my room, little girl room, teddy bears in it. I miss that cute room. And just my blue flip flop, and my lamp was in the bookshelf. That mommy's such a decorative eye. It was such a cool room. Teenager growing up, and I think that was part of the envy the psychics talk to. Like, she didn't live like you as a teenager, and I'm like, well, why she's comparing? What is this compare? I'm too lazy to compete with anyone, especially when there's no desired prize. But I know your ego. I wasn't envy or jealous of you and your mother, but that's not what these psychics are saying. Lord Jesus. But anyway, so back to the point. In my mind, I'm like, I have nothing to be jealous of. And I'm like, mommy, that is your opinion of yourself. That's not hers. That's not other people's opinion. Mm-mm, mm-mm. She wasn't raised like you. No, no, no. And no, I didn't tell them your business. They could see it on the table. Their modalities, their tools they're using. But I'm like, what is the hate about? And they tell me, okay, if I'm paying for a reading, I'm not talking too much because I want my money's worth. Oh, okay, okay. Here's back to the room, and she's pulling all my boosted items and items I had on layaway. Because her thing to my mom asked, well, what are you doing? Well, I don't think she should be rewarded with keeping stolen goods. Do you? And mom, you look like she processing information like, I know she shouldn't keep the rewards of the thievery. That's like my mom is very honest, very, very honest lady, to fault. And mommy's processing it like, yeah, she shouldn't be rewarded with stolen goods. And I'm sitting up Indian position in my bed, like, not everything in that closet is stolen. Can I pick out the stolen stuff? And Lib is like, no, I know fashion, Ruby. Ruby's my mom's pseudonym in the book. I know fashion. In no way anyone with an after school job can afford these things. Look at these labels. No way. These things are hot and they're stolen, and I'm taking them. And she took them. And later on in life, when I'm grown in my 30s, after the 10-year, the first stint of excommunication, I asked her, those things you took out of my closet post burglary. I'm in my 30s now. What did you do with all those things you took out of my closet? Oh, I threw them away. And I'm looking at her like, we went in that hunter green car, your pretty car you had. You threw away all that fine Raymond? Yes, I threw it away. It was hot. I threw it away. It was not hot as in how white people say hot, like it's nice. Hot as in stolen. Well, Caucasoid said, I don't mean Caucasoid as an insult. That's how we, in our study groups back in days, instead of Caucasian, Caucasoid, because of the robotic, movement, Zoid, like robot. No, it's not an insult. Just okay. Moving on. And can't see Caucasoids on this video either. Well, unless they do send it to professors. No offense, professors. What is this melanated professor? Frenetic. This channel should have called it Frenetic TV. This channel. Anyway, back to the point at hand. Yes, astrologers, a lot of errors in my chart. Because like, why is she so frenetic? She had a lot of air. Yes, whole bunch of air. And airhead is oxygen on the brain. We all have oxygen on our brain, or you'd be a deadhead. I learned that from Trapper John MD on a TV commercial. Okay, back to the point I'm trying to make is, she told me in my 30s that she threw away all those pretty items, all that fly shit. I'm like, you threw it away? Yeah, I threw it away. And I'm like, I gotta chill. I'm in her car, and I'm like, she ain't throw that shit out. Things had tags on it. You threw out the new stuff. Like with the burglary, things had, my friends used to say that you had stuff with tags on. They stole new stuff that you didn't even wear. Here go Kia. I tell you to wear that. She was fly walking to the store. That maybe that's Brooklyn. She said, I told you to wear that stuff. At least if you wore it to the store or something, they be stealing used things versus new things. I digress. So that, I forgot, I neglected to add that memory to the live video. And this memory, now speed up to my 30s. We're reconnected again. because I wrote the letter when she got, my mom said she was sick, and just, and she wrote me back, and the letters were very poignant and beautiful. So we are back, communication is back in effect. So I'm in my 30s, and she called and asked me to go to Vegas with her, a caucus, Black Caucus convention or something of that nature. And at first I said no because I didn't have the money, and I just got back from Mexico, a girls trip there, and I went alone to New Orleans for a food tour. Yes, I was a foodie then, and I'm a foodie now. Anywho, so the money just wasn't there. She was like, "Oh, you can borrow it from your mom. I'm borrowing it from your mom to go to Vegas." I'm like, "Oh." And then she said, "You take off from work any other time you want to," because she came to one of my hearings because she knew about union laws and etc. And I'm like, "Oh God, I talk too much, Jesus." And my attendance was terrible. This is law enforcement. My attendance was just because I started, allegedly working at this strip house with the strippers. They call me the house mother, queen mother, house mother. Never mind why I was poor attendance at work back then. Suspended, just terrible. Forgive me, Captain. I just, oh, and the lieutenant. I thought he didn't like me, but he was like, "No, you're not malicious." And I was like, "Oh God." And Jim and I, he thought about it. He said, "No, you ain't got to write that," because we had somebody did something to us, call you to write a report and fill out what you was doing the next day. What were you doing at 2,300 hours? Like, never mind, I'm writing, and I'm handing him my report. He was like, "No, you don't have to write that. You're not malicious." I never even knew he had that perception about me. And the elevator, he went to the elevators behind me. I'm on post. He went to the elevators behind me, and that elevator is slow. And he's a Gemini, that mercurial, I'm not gonna say Gemini's are impatient, they're mercurial. So I'm sitting at my same day as Kendrick Lamar, his birthday. I don't know, this dawned on me. So I'm sitting at my podium like, oh gosh. But my point is, he's smart. You know what I'm saying? Highly astute, well spoken man. So I'm at the podium like praying for that elevator to come because the one tear is rolling down my chubby cheek, and I'm just praying because if he goes to the other elevator back out his peripheral, he can see me crying. Do you want to be crying in uniform? And I don't want sympathy. I don't want sympathy for these videos. I think I'm venting. It's therapy, ventling. Okay. In our forgiveness group, a sister wrote, "I don't share my stories for sympathy. I share them because I have to get them out. It's like art." And I'm not saying the hell we go through is art. Some people do make art from the hell they go through. Artists, shout out to the artists, y'all beautiful. But no, you have to. It's like what the saying, garbage in, garbage out. It's like taking a shit. No, I don't want to say pontificating and shitting. Well, one writing teacher said it is like peeing. You drink something and you pee. In and out. That's the thing with bullies. They want to project their pain on you, and they want you to hold their pain. They want to project their insecurities and their pain on you, and they want you to hold it. Not pee it out in prose. No, they don't want that. Okay, just psychotic, slanted. And I learned this in psychology class. Bullies is a mental defect. It's all born out of insecurity, according to psychology classes I sat for. Yeah, they feel empty or hollow, and in their mind, that's someone else's fault. Maybe it is, but go back to your childhood, because I didn't raise you. Lord Jesus, have mercy. Oh, I won't say the same they used to say back in the days with that. You are not my fault. Mama had you, mama, and the rest of what they would say back in the 80s. Like they could tell then that you're projecting your insecurities onto people. And the person that's brave would reply, "You are not my fault. My activities and bring about your manifest. No, 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 no. I didn't give birth to you. No, no, no. Mama had you, and mama, the profanity, and you be in the hood staring like, oh God, a fight about to break out now. Oh Lord. Sometimes the fight do break out. Because when you can't come back logically with words, they just come back with fists. And you're like, oh Lord, somebody gonna break this up? Oh, just emotions, sweet Jesus. But anywho, the caucus. Oh yeah, Vegas. I know you're gonna get to Margo. Okay, the Black Caucus in Vegas. I didn't want her to think I was still holding a grudge about the burglary. So I relented and said, "Oh, okay." I asked my mom to borrow the money. Jeez. And I did. And she loaned me. She's first, I love you, Mom. Mommy's honest, but I don't know. First, she said a certain amount. Then she said it has to be less because I had bills to pay. What else can I say? What can I say? But I did want the amount she first said because I wanted. Yeah, I still went and gambled. Won some, lost some. Met a pit boss. So you had to be a little high point of that trip. Yeah, no, I didn't get busy. I didn't have sex. But gosh, the memories of when I was smaller. No, there's men who like big women. My husband's one of them. Yeah, but just I don't know the attention you get when them 88 pounds came up off of me during my Saturn return. I lost 88 pounds. You know, and 8 is ruled by Saturn. Never mind. But and I was newly divorced and all that attention. I thought I was a teenager again. I'm like, but what's going on? What the name of Jesse James here is going on? But never mind. When I was single, like my 30s felt like my 20s. You know, newly single and. Uh, Forgive my nostalgia. So we went, and you know Erica Badu's song "Bag Light," that bag lady, and you're like, oh, that's a metaphor. She didn't mean it literally. Well, I, as best as I can, try to implement it literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? So I packed light. I had a silver and black Adidas duffel bag, and the trip. Well, how long was the convention? 3 days. Listen to me. I went to my mama's house because she still lived in Long Island at this time. Lived. And I said, okay, I'll meet you at my mom's. So I had my own place still in Richmond Hill. So I packed and had my jeans on, my sneakers. I could see my outfit. I could still feel me that morning packing and getting ready. Just she and I. Nothing. She had two grown daughters because we were on the phone. I'm like, you didn't ask your daughters? Oh no. They gotta work. They gotta do something. Oh. And then she was a VP at a major organization. So I'm in my mind. I'm like, we hadn't spoken in 10 years, and you're asking me to go with you to Vegas. She only got to be somebody you know from the organization that can go with you. Hell, they might be there. We told this is a Black Caucus thing, but I'm thinking like me. She just treated me like a nobody. You want nobody me to go with you? I just couldn't understand it. And then she was at some party because I was like, I like Calvin Klein because I looked at one of his documentaries because before I was into designer labels, but I like to get into this is before the internet. Like you got to go to the library and look up these people, or you're lucky enough to catch a documentary on the biography channel on them. But you know you want to know the label. Maybe Run from Run DMC did it to me. I don't want nobody name on my behind. And that made me think of like, well, who are the people behind these names? So I used to study these designers. I know they had the rumors that some designers were racist, and that stopped me cold from even wanting a child. I'm like, they are? I know it's just a rumor, but in the racist world, is it far-fetched? You know what Jane Elliott done told us, okay? I digress. But in studying Calvin Klein, I think he went to some high school or college. Was it the Fashion Institute or something? And according to this documentary, it's not verbatim, allegedly, he was mistreated there, I think kicked out or something. You can do your own research. And when he blew up as a designer, they were like, you know, proud. Oh, he went here. We knew him when, that type of talk, allegedly, per that documentary. And that made me like him because he was, I don't know if he said, kiss my ass, you know, please. Cause I don't know what he said, but his response to them, I was like, wow, he acting like he a brother from the hook talking like that. Never mind. But from there, you know, I was like, I think I like Calvin. Because I want to like you as a person. I'm going to put you on my behind. Shout out to Run DMC. But in any event, how did I get to Calvin Klein? Oh, Liv said she went to a party and met him. So I'm like, you met him in person? Oh my goodness, how's this energy in person? Da, 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 da. My point is, I'm thinking of all the people she said she met, and you asked nobody me to go to Vegas with you. And you're still asking, like she's pressing. I'm telling her, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have any more free time on my vocational books. And she's still pressing. And I'm like, she makes sense. I just don't want to go anywhere with her. You know, I don't want her to think I'm holding a grudge because I'm not really holding a grudge. I just wasn't holding on to you. I'm too bubbly to hold a grudge. I just don't want to hold on to your energy with, I don't know. But then I don't even want her to know that. I just wanted to be like, okay, you know, we're family. You know, we're back on again, blah, blah, blah. So, only thing that was the true pull for me, for lack of a better word right there, was I've never been to Vegas. So I'm thinking, you know, you've never been to Vegas. You know, you like going to AC, Atlantic City to gamble, slots, and, you know, maybe Vegas is a little more enhanced, you know, step up. Just go. Because it's Vegas. Let's just see. And then, and mom didn't even hesitate. You know, usually I'm thinking, she was like, no, I don't have any more to spare to loan it to your aunt and da 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 da. No, she didn't hesitate. She was like, yeah, I can loan you that first amount. Then when I came upstairs to collect the cash, I was like, I thought you said. She was like, no, I had a bill to pay, forgive me. Which is, usually unlike her to go back on her word. But then I had to, when she told me, look for the silver lining, I'm like, okay, well, it'll be less money to pay back. And oddly enough, she lost that money in Pathmark. She put it in her bra. Ladies, don't put money cash in your bra. I don't even know if younger generations do that. Gen X and older, we used to keep cash in our bra. One sister told me, well, New York had muggers back then. Do they still mug? I don't know. One lady was like, I stopped doing that when he went in my titties to look for money. I'm thinking that he's about to, do another kind of crime. Because I'm like, well, what are you doing? He was like, no, I just want to make sure, there's no money in there. She was like, oh my God. Never mind. Oh God, the 80s. Yeah, so she stopped. She said, I stopped putting money in my bra because these muggers are they're getting out of hand. No pun intended. You checking my titties? Oh Lord. But yeah, that was the thing. And I paid her back and we went to Pathmark. She lost the cash in Pathmark somehow. We going hour to hour looking for that cash. I was so heartbroken. That just was an omen, like I shouldn't have went to Vegas. I don't know. And it took me a minute to pay back that money too. And my mom's not even the type that say, I gave it to you whole, pay it back whole. Some people on it like that. They probably still is. You could pay mommy back in parts. I could, You could pay her back in parts. She understand the struggle. But no, I was able to pay her back whole and went right in Pathmark and lost it. And she had to pay for the groceries with a credit card, which she really didn't do back then. Never. Back to Vegas. So I pack up my duffel bag. I pack light. And also, I was honoring number one of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power before I read the book. If I'm with someone and she was a VP, these are people she probably knows. So I'm not going to have any type of flashy, ritzy clothes. If you're with someone and they're introducing you to certain rooms, and I had wanted to network, but I didn't want to network too hard. I didn't want to do anything that she could deem I'm trying to upstage her. So, I know how to play my position, on matters like that. Number one of that 48 list. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. We're doing a girls trip, and then they didn't have narcissism back. The word in not the nomenclature as popular as they got it now, but with that type of energy, I know to dial my energy down. You know what I mean? I'm not a bully or a dictator, but I can be, from what I'm told, bubbly and spirited and social butterfly and party starter. And I knew to just dial that down because I don't want her to think that I was in any way, even though I'm grown, I'm in my 30s now, early 30s, that I'm trying to upstage her in front of these black caucus people. So I packed light, casual attire, things of that nature, packed very light. And plus, I didn't want to carry a heavy bag, keep that in mind. And then I wanted to take it on the carry on with me. I didn't want, and I'm thinking I could save time. I don't have to wait for it when we get to the Vegas airport. I still like that. Carry on, get off, boom, find your Uber, get to your hotel. Just bada bing, bada boom, as quick as you can get this process going. And travel should be like that. Travel is ruled by Sagittarius and Gemini. Those are quickened signs. Long distance travel, Sag. Short trips, Gemini. I don't know if Vegas would be considered a short trip from JFK. I'm not sure. The point of the matter is, there's nothing slow about Sag Fire or Gemini Air. So all that RFG, the chosen one, and took him off YouTube. He did a video about that. He surely did. Where Sag and Gemini was when they started changing the airport like that. TSA and oh God. Anyway, I digress. So I meet her and her two daughters at mommy's house. Her two daughters must have spent the night with her on Long Island because we spoke. She called me. She was like, are you packed? I'm like, I am. She said, I'm still packing. That should have been a clue right there. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Again, because I think this is a 3-day convention. It's not like 7 days or anything like that. No, it can be. I had to get back to work. Lord have mercy. But then I had to get a co-worker and to see, because you could, allegedly, she's city worker. Allegedly, you could buy time. Like, allegedly. If you have a co-worker who always come to work and they don't have so much time stored up, some of them will get, they like you, they'll just give you, you know, if you had that kind of rapport, they'll just give you one of their days. But I don't want that hovering over my head that you did that for me. But allegedly, you could buy time, you know, or do a favor because I had a little bit money. I had that much money to be behind, you know, 3 days from somebody. Lord have mercy. So I gave them. I went to Swedish Institute, so I gave them massages and allegedly. I don't want them bothering city workers if this is still a thing. I don't know, but I gave massages and no sex. I don't know. I've never been dick driven like that. But you know, a massage, or do you want a reading? Do you want an astrology reading? I look at your natal chart. What's that? I explain it. Um, they like the way I cook certain dishes. You know, you have a office party. I'm not a cook. Don't get. I'm not bragging about that. But certain salads, and it depends on what he wants. But you know, you could barter like that, or some just want the cash allegedly. But yeah, people could exchange their days because they just like going to work, so they storehouse all that time. And some city jobs, if you state to it back then, I don't know about now, if you don't use your time, you lose it. Isn't that terrible? And some that's not the case. You know, you accumulated this time. One sergeant, oh, she hated me to another September Virgo. God, she had so much time that she says this is not a third party. He said, she said, when she went back when she liked me, she was come to the podium and talk to me. She went on maternity leave. She had saved up so much time. She didn't even have to use sick days for maternity leave. I mean, just that much time that you could use when you're ready to use it. Why am I talking about vocation? I want to do a separate vocation video. I digress. I was able to procure 3 days, and I went on with her, and I met her at mommy's house. And her daughter's one daughter, the older daughter, was driving. The younger daughter was in. The young daughter sat in the back with me. I don't know how did what was Lib up front with her oldest daughter. I don't know. Somebody was in the back with me. I don't know. It was Lib or her youngest daughter. I want to say the youngest daughter. It had to have been the youngest daughter. It was Q. Okay. They drive us to JFK. But first on the drive, they was like they were like, "Where's your bags?" I'm like, "Oh, this is it." They was like, "That's your only bag for Vegas?" I'm like, "Yeah." What is it, like just 3 days? And they snickered like, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I started singing Erykah Badu, "Pack Light," bag lady, which is so applicable. Erykah Badu, tweet this. Tell her to fast forward to 52 minutes. Mama Badu, Erykah Badu. That bag lady was definitely the metaphor for Lib. All right, so we get out. We're at the airport. We're going in, and I think the ancestors wanted her to just take that one bag. When I tell you her luggage was hip high and huge, a big burgundy pull luggage with the wheels, hip high, and her hips are ample, and she's a tall, statuesque. I'm looking at this. I'm not exaggerating for story's sake and waxing poetic or whatever the hell. I'm walking behind her, and we're about to enter the airport, and I'm looking at this hip high pulley luggage, and it looks wide and thick. It looks visually heavy. I'm like, good Lord, is she gonna change her clothes 3 times a day? We ain't gonna be there that long. That one luggage, okay? You got it? Hip high, huge. And I thought she's a clothes horse. She believes in her fashion, but it just was too much stuff in there for 3 days. I'm like, unless she changed her clothes 3 times a day, what in the hell is in there? But none of my and I'm thinking none of my bees wick. I ain't got to pull that thing. So I'm glad my stuff is light, and this is a wonderful thing. The heaviest thing I had probably was the dress that you wear at the last gala, and that dress was somewhat light. It was long, it was formal. In any event, but it's a dress that I could fold, fold and roll. Just now they got YouTube how to pack your luggage videos, but you learn these things over the time. Too many girls trips, you learn how to pack, and that's usually Caribbean. You take a lot of bathing suits. I digress. But anywho, so I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, ooh, what the hell is in there? Jesus. And I'm a hoarder. I'm not dissing her hoarding habits. I'm one too. Every time I look at hoarders, I cry. But yet want to call them, can y'all come help me, please? And nothing expensive. Like, I ain't find nothing expensive. No, just hoarding them out of Dollar Tree. And yet, did y'all go up to $1.75, really? Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so you just hoarding a bunch of cheap items. well, oh, this is cute. Oh, two for $1. I gotta get out of the habit, Lord. Retail therapy, Lord. But back to the point. What was the point? Oh, so I'm staring going into the airport, and I'm like, oh Lord, the hell is in there? So we're in the we're almost in the airport, and I know the ancestors want her to forget that second bag. Q gets out and said, "Wait, Ma, you forgot a bag." And we look back at Q holding the twin. It was a burgundy, the same exact bag, but the twin sets. Okay, and happy belated birthday. Q is she's not a twin, but the 21 is it aligns to Alegba and Alegba Chill and Echu. And Alegba is the twins. Never mind my thought process in that moment. And because the bags were twins, heavy, look like the same weight. I'm like, I thought one was too much for 3 days. She has two. So I'm like, oh my God. And then she looks at me and innocuously. I don't want to say sheepishly. She'll resent that term, sheepish. Because like, who am I to be scared of? I'm a non-combatant. But she looks at me and innocuously asks in a soft tone, since when she speaks to the softly. Okay? She looks at me and say, what's my name in the book? Ava in the pages. But okay, she looks at me and says, Nandy, can you carry that for me? And I looked at her. First, they snickered at my duffel bag. But imagine if I didn't pack light. I wouldn't be able to manage that. Thank heavens it was on wheels. That was the silver lining. It felt like the moment lasts forever when it was probably just a minute and a half. But I looked back at her daughter Q with that bag, and you could see it was 21. She's a Leo, but 21 is actually like, but they're the tricksters. They're the divine tricksters. People try to give them a bad rap. They would go, Echu's the devil of the Orishas. But the divine devil, you're like, that's an oxymoron. Never mind my ether studies. But I love Echu and Legba. Daily I do. But let me get to the point. But I'm still thinking 21, Alegba, and she's a 21. But the look on her face, like, I think this was a kiki to her and her sister. The sister's a Taurus. So there's some moral. I know you're probably like, I know a Taurus with no morals, but there's some, because Venus rules Taurus. So there's some morality in there. You probably know I heard Venus was down with Lucifer. I don't even know if out the box studiers will be on this daggone channel, to be truthful. And my mind is on OTBs, out the box studiers, because I know they're probably but listen, the look on Q's face that I'm looking at Joni in the driver's seat, I know that was a kiki to them. Even at the house while they watching their mama pack, they got to be like, well, you can manage both, carrying both of those. Oh, I just simply asked Ava to carry one. And I'm thinking the tourist would say, you just gonna take her for granted like that? But she's not gonna defend me against her mama. But you're just gonna assume she can carry. What about her own bag? That's something I'm thinking a tourist would either think or say. I don't know. I don't know. Because you got to remember, Aquarians are conceived during Taurus season if it's a 9-month pregnancy. So there's some humanitarian in them. Sam, well-respected astrologer, he said Taurians are the new revolutionaries. No longer Aquarius, no longer Scorpio, no longer Aries, is what he said. And we were in class like Taurus. We thought of Malcolm X. I'm like, oh, maybe because Malcolm X. And then we figured it out. Because Aquarians are conceived during Taurus season. The fixed signs, the four fixed, and Leo, the conceived, the Taurus. You get it? You get it? And it was a 9-month pregnancy. Okay. But pardon me, it's hot as a cootie brown in here with no daggone fan. Lord. No, you get no AC either. Just at this moment, sweet Jesus. Oh, Lord. I just thought, even speaking about this with my homegirls, some into astrology, some not, and it was like the tourist didn't say nothing while she was packing. I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't there in Long Island with them. But I just felt that was a key to them. Like, they really made, forgive me if I'm wrong, cousins, but like, they got off on it. They probably thought it was hilarious. I don't know. So I'm looking now for a cab. I'm going back to my house. Yeah, and the cab from JFK to Richmond Hill would probably be pricey. Probably all the money mommy done loaned me. So I'm looking for a cab, and they're going by with people in them. and I'm just trying to look for an empty cab. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And I know I'm wasting mommy's money because she paid for the airfare too. So I had to pay her back the airfare. And you know when you book a flight, moments notice, it's much more expensive as opposed to booking it well in advance. It was that way back then too. So I am thinking I gotta pay back the airfare and the spending money mommy gave me, but at least I'll have, my dignity and my peace of mind. She overpacked for me to carry it, and I just again it felt like I was standing there in the twilight zone for longer than I really stood there. So by this time, Lib is in the airport online, and Q was just staring at me like any minute now because they can't stay double parked in that. They got to, the security tell them to move it on along. So she's looking at me like, okay, any day now you're gonna come get the bag. What you gonna do? And I'm looking at cabs go by with people in them. I swear, if I saw an empty cab, I would have just went ahead and got in it. I'm in my 30s now. You done played me enough when I was a teenager. This is still happening in my 30s. Thank God I didn't have to experience you in any of my 20s. Not in person, according to what psychics say, what allegedly went on behind the scenes. But, I didn't have to experience their mama in my 20s. So I had that decade of being lived free. Thank God. So then I'm thinking we reuniting and reconciling and trying to mend the family back together. But that was an ideal my mom had. That was never ever to be. And I'm my mom's child, her mitochondria DNA. So I'm like, oh yeah, one big happy family again. But we were never happy so together. So where do I get again from? Pardon my rosy colored glasses and Pollyanna energy. It comes from my mama. Oh Jesus. Oh mama. You ever looked at Alyssa Sharp moon videos? She said, okay, if your moon is in this sign, your mama would never mind. Alyssa Sharp. Ugh. My heart sank when she said that. Oh, her videos are good. But yeah, just accept the astro truth for what it is. But yeah, that Pollyanna thing was people say, oh yeah, it's beautiful. Faith and family and but any event, I just said to myself, you know what? You never been to Vegas, and your duffel bag is light, it's manageable, and it's so much so you can put it, you can just stack it on top of the pulley, this big monstrous luggage thing for 3 days, and you got two of them. Your duffel bag is lighting up. I'm in an hour, and we can get to Margo. Lord have mercy. You guys see what's going on? The impact Lib had on our life. Oh, Jesus. And what is the reward? Her ego being stroked, and you allegedly want to monetize my death. Allegedly, according to the psychic readings, allegedly. And people say, "Oh, I think it's legal. You can get life insurance on anybody you want." I'm like, "This is legal." No, I'm not sure. I think so. I've been studying it ever since to see if it's legal. According to psychics, I'm like, she was the bane of my existence, and she wants to monetize my death. Well, how would she get access to your social security number? Well, she lived in my mama's bedroom for 3 years. First year, rent free, according to my mama. All my mama's business is up there. Her paperwork. What? What do you mean? How she would have access to our numbers? And you're going to ask my sister if my mom did that. My sister said to her, "What matter now? Mommy's dead. How would she benefit if she had life insurance and other people?" I'm like, John, that's a nice response, but mommy has integrity and ethics. She wouldn't do that. She's been honest all her life. She's gonna wait till the end to be dishonest. Oh, she would tell us. Oh, I have life insurance. And oh, she would tell us, so we know what to do for business sake. But I don't know. No, I think mommy took her paperwork in the boiler room in the basement with her. No, mommy has too much paperwork to take down there. Never mind. Again, entertainment purposes only, what the psychics say. But to hate someone and then want them, oh God. Did you see the Shabby Zane video on Kanika Jenkins about her, Kanika's aunt allegedly entertainment purpose? Shabby ain't scared her Aries self, child. She said it. She even put allegedly in the title. I'm like, she's a true Aries, Aries 7, Lord have mercy. But shout out to Shabby Zane. Anywho, all right. So where was I? So I again, the silver lining in my mind. Try to find the silver lining. The silver lining is you've never been to Vegas, and then you want to waste all the money you borrowed from your mom. Well, I would still pay it back if I went back home. But You borrowed this money, make good of it. Just put your duffel bag on top of it and pull the thing. Let's go see Vegas. Focus on Vegas, not Violin. Okay, focus on Vegas. Violin's basement, Violin's bags. In Christianity, in Christ, in Christianity church, the saying was, I don't know if they say it still. Everyone has to carry their own cross. Carry your own burdens. And I felt like the bag was one of her burdens she wanted me to carry. Was this some kind of ritual, some kind of sorcery? I don't know. According to readings I get, it was. It really, really was. The trip itself, because when you get home, like I gotta get a reading. Why would she ask me to go to Vegas with her? Well, she needed you to air in the air. She needed you to be your subconscious mind. The breed, did you sleep in the same bed? No, we're not auntie and niece, little girl. No, the hotel room had separate beds, queen size. No. Did she use your pillow? Not that I know of. Psychics say, yeah, they good. The ones I go to. I'm like, oh, they charlatans. Not the hell the ones I go to. Okay, speak for you. It's just too detailed. They wouldn't know that stuff unless they had to give the ability. All right. So any event, but yeah, the air, the water. They was like, did you shower with her? No, I'm grown. I didn't shower with her as a kid. What kind of no? They trying to figure out how she would incorporate the four elements into the alleged sorcery. I'm like, no, we no showers or nothing like that together. But we then they go, did you share any type of beverage with her? Tea. I'm like, oh God, the drink from 7-Eleven. Because she got out the car. She was her daughter's Joni's ex, a handsome guy with dreadlocks. Put you in the mind of AJ from 106 in Park. Him and I think his dad or uncle, they lived there then. And they picked us up and took us around. I had wanted to go to a grocery store because money was running low. You gamble, win some, lose some. And then she was a sanctified fire and brimstone, judgmental, criticizing critic. So I wasn't letting her know I was going down to gamble. Plus, I don't need to do all the activities of the Black Caucus. So I'm like, I ain't gonna tell her I'm going downstairs to gamble. Who needs to be criticized for something that's legal here, and I'm a grown ass woman. But the money was running low, and she had said her money, spending money, was running low, and I had made a suggestion: if we go to the grocery store, it'll be and get cold cuts, because they had a little mini fridge in there and a microwave. I'm like, we don't even have to spend money at restaurants or anything. Let's find a grocery store. She was like, you know what? I forget his name. I would have to change it anyway for legal reasons. They're gonna come pick us up and later on. I can ask them to take. This is my memory. Take us to the grocery store. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because you can buy affordable things and you don't have to be hungry. So they did come, and she went downstairs to meet them. I guess I was moving too slow. And this is when you could burn, you could smoke in the hotel room back then. So I don't smoke cigarettes, but I was burning frankincense and myrrh in the bathroom. Not against her per se, but I wonder, she took it personally. I'm like, well, frankincense and myrrh is in the Bible, spoken highly of in the Bible. She was like, I know. Like, I'm like, I'm thinking no Christian is against frankincense and myrrh. They gave that to baby Jesus with gold, didn't they? I'm like, she's against frankincense and myrrh. But, I like to burn in the bathroom when I bathe and, make number two. And, I like my whole bathroom experience includes candles and incense. But, aromatherapy. But she took high offense to that frankincense and myrrh. And I couldn't get it as a Christian. You don't like frankincense and myrrh? So I put it out. It was really, really a bothering her. I'm like, any herb, hyssop, anything that's in the Bible, and a Christian is against it, and she is studious. She will pick up a book and read. Because some Christians, you be like, am I reading the Bible more than this person is? This is bizarre. Now I'm thinking of evilbible.com, that website, the contradictions they highlight, but not my website. Okay, so I can't see a sanctified Christian listening to this know-how. But I'm always awed by them being against crystals that are spoken against well in the Bible. I'm like, maybe they didn't read it. They didn't read that passage. I don't know. And I remember Joel in the Bible 2:25. Yeah, because I got a reading from a Christian that only reads with the word. I don't know how she had the patience to write down all the scriptures in the Bible, but she did. Little cue cards are laminated and you swirl around this big bowl Like think of like marbles in a bowl, and you reach in and you take your hand out. Because I got a reading about the burglary, the outcome, card. I pulled Joel 225. Ashe. But anywho, yeah, I get readings like, why did they do this? What is this about? Why are they doing this? Because nothing don't make sense to me. So let's see what the cards or whatever tools they use. Let's see what that say. Ashe. But because I don't initiate hostilities. I don't. All right. Back to Vegas. Did we get to Vegas? Yeah, but let me go back to the airport. So I finally, which felt like a long time, Twilight Zone energy, alternate universe, like the sounds in the airports are busy. Like I couldn't even hear those sounds. Like, what is this after 10 years of excommunication? She's the same. What is this? So I went and got the bag and I went on the line because by now other people are standing behind her. So I'm behind those people. But again, I guess she didn't become VP for no reason. Alpha energy, that sun in the first house. So she's telling the people, not to move, but with her hand, step aside. That's my niece. Da, da, da. So she's, pulling, motioning me to come up on the head. So I just come on up ahead. I'm not skipping many people. I'm not skipping none of them because in her mind, my place in line is with her. We were traveling together. It makes sense. Well, to me, it does. I'm not a bully. And maybe two or three people. They were pretty nice. Thank goodness they were friendly. Their frequency matched mine. But then when I get up there, she's looking at me with the evil eye, the look of death, the glare, as if I asked her to carry my bag. I mean, yeah, I spritzed with the Florida water blend before I left. But I'm thinking about I should have spritzed some extra spritz for this look. Jesus Christ. So I'm not going to match the death glare, but I'm looking at her. This is before that August 18th yellow match in the house. Because she's still living in Long Island. I'm still living in my own place. Uh, that was 2003. So this trip happened before 2003. So I looked at her and smiled as warmly as I could. I'm like, oh, these lines are long, huh? Because clearly you must be angry at the long line. You can't possibly be angry because I paused because I couldn't believe you overpacked with the intention of having me lug your luggage for you. Surely you can't be angry that I had a moment. I'm not allowed a pause moment because I'm shocked that you overpacked, anticipating I will help you carry your bags. And then when we get on some sort of trolley or some kind of something that moves us from one space to another in the airport, she shows the heavy stickage. She says, "See, they always got it." I don't know how she thought this would ameliorate. I don't know, but she said, "See, they always got to put a heavy sticker on my luggage." And I was like, oh, so you pack like this often? Yeah, always. As if to say, don't assume I pack this way, anticipating you would help me. Well, if you were able to carry two luggages of this magnitude before by yourself, why not this time? Is what I'm thinking. Oh, did you have a patsy, or what's another word I'm looking for? I don't want to self-deprecate, Jesus. Unless she had some other gopher with her before. Oh, I hate self-deprecating at this age. Unless she had traveling companion before. But now I'm thinking, like, that's why she asked me. Any other contemporary of hers wouldn't probably carry this for her. Who else could she ask to travel with her that would... I was sickened. I was sickened. So again, I forced my mind to think the silver lining. You've never been to Vegas. You've never been to Vegas. And it had wheels. Those are the silver linings. You've never been to Vegas, and at least this thing has wheels. Oh, Jesus. So we're in the air, and I asked the stewardess to help me with my seatbelt. It seemed tangled, or something was wrong with it. And sweet, sweet, nice lady stewardess. Did they call them flight attendants back then? A stewardess. I'm so old school. Stewardess. She helps me, and she goes on up, down the aisle, wherever she was going. And I don't know how that would be an embarrassing moment for the Virgo. Lib looks at me and goes, "You're not used to traveling, are you?" I'm like, "What do you mean? You didn't know how to do your seatbelt?" I'm like, "Well, maybe I don't know it was my chubby belly or whatever, but I had some difficulties. I told you I couldn't go on this trip because I just got back from New Orleans and a girls trip in Mexico." She was like, And then I'm like, and more, well, mommy had us traveling all the time. I went to Bermuda at 3. What? Mommy do a family vacation at least once a year. And she was, and she just started getting frazzled and flustered, as if, don't mention your mother to me. Her being a good mother taking you on vacations. And she didn't say it, but it was flustered energy, like, what are you mentioning her for? And I'm sitting in the seat next to her, and there was a third person. The third person looking like, what the hell we have here? I think that, did that third person have the window seat? Because I was on the aisle. Or did she have was the person in the middle? I don't remember. I tuned her out. I'm like, is she trying to shame me for getting help from the stewardess? I'm like, Jesus H. Christ. Oh, God, that Vegas trip. The pit boss was the high point. And winning was the high point, but losing, you lose it. Yeah. I got to win and walk away. Yeah, what am I still sitting there after I win? I think, oh, let me get the chips higher. Let me get the chips higher. Never mind. Gamblers Anonymous, here I come. But I don't even gamble like that anymore. I digress. So, and I had a moment on a Vegas trip. So I was in a hotel room alone. That'd be in the memoir. And I'm like, I can't believe I fell for it. I just, why? Why? I even asked, well, you can ask my mom. Oh, she has this church thing. She can't go. I'm like, oh, I see. I see. Oh, jeez. Any event. Whew. Let me get a glass of water for that. Let me drink water. Oh, this water's room temperature. Tepid. Lukewarm. And they tell you can't be lukewarm with your studies with Christ. No, I'm Luke Strong. You read the book of Luke? Yeah. I ain't lukewarm. I'm Luke Strong. Oh, you got to be obedient. I'm obedient to the truth. Malcolm X, I want the truth. I don't care who's telling it. When you ask my friend Rich, you know you go in the hospital where they ask your religion to see if you know they're going to draw blood or whatever. They don't even ask your religion. They stopped doing that in hospitals, I think. The triage, they used to ask what's your religion to see if you'll give blood or whatever. They must have stopped a whole lot of that. I don't know. But Rich would tell them truth. And the triage nurse is like, I beg your pardon. My religion is truth. Shout out to Rich. I love him. He's serious. Very serious answering that question. Anybody ask him, my religion is truth. Yes. But yeah, so yeah, the ex boyfriend for Joni with the dreadlocks. And I had dreadlocks back then too. And she was gonna tell me, while I'm having dreads, he's cute and all, but he has dreadlocks. I don't like dreadlocks. And I'm looking at my own, just, you can see your dreads in the peripheral. I'm like, oh. And she was like, no, I don't like them. But I understand astrology, Virgo, the criticism. I'm like, oh, all right. And it's something, and nothing against him, but I don't know. She went downstairs to meet them, him and his uncle or dad or whatever. And they took us to Hoover Dam too. But I'm still thinking about the supermarket. So I guess I'm moving slow. So he comes up to the hotel room to tap night. He tapped lightly, respectful. And he calls my name and he said, we're waiting for you in the lobby. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Forgive me. I'm so slow. I'm coming. And I'm ready. So I go, I leave out the room and we go on the elevator. And I mentioned casual conversation. I didn't even know that this would be a thing. I guess in her mind, I don't know. I'm like, are we going to the supermarket? And he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. Are we supposed to be going to the supermarket? And I'm like, maybe it's an oversight. But me and her were, discussing going to the supermarket just to get some, snacks and rations. Because there's a mini fridge and microwave in our room. Because, eating out. I think she went to the Cheesecake Factory with the some of the Black caucus people. And that's another thing. Before she goes there, she says to me, you want anything? I'm like, oh, just a slice that she's offering. I know better than to ask a Virgo for anything. No. I studied astrology too long. So I'm like, oh, just that raspberry lime cheesecake. Some kind of citrus raspberry cheesecake they used to have, according to my memory right now. And that's something I could pay her back for, too. Because, what was it, $4 and change back then? I don't know. Again, you want to pay a Virgo back? You don't want a Virgo, and it's a service as part of their sign. And I'm like, how? I'm always in class back then. Like, are y'all sure? And I'm like, don't judge all Virgos by your daggone aunt girl. But it's supposed to be a service sign. It's the harvest. I'm like, the symbol's the lady with that sheaf of wheat in her hand. And I'm like, and it's the work sign. It's the sixth house, your job. And never mind. Me and astrology. Pardon my astro pearls. Pardon them, please. But I knew I could afford a slice of cheesecake that I can give her the money back for. But even though she offered, here's the $5. So she comes back from the Cheesecake Factory, and I'm got my ice cold. Some of that stuff is so sweet. You gotta have it with ice cold water. So I have my, you get ice bucket of ice in the hotel, and you just sip on that. Or Vegas is hot. They had AC in there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I got the ice cold water on deck for the cheesecake. I stopped drinking cow's milk back then, even back then. But even if I was still drinking milk, it wouldn't be with that sweet ass cheesecake. It has to be water, like the strawberry coconut zingers. Shout out to Ridge. He was like, you gotta eat those with ice cold water. I'm like, you do, because back in the '80s when you drunk milk was different. When we got the Queens and people was getting milk delivered in those glasses, and I'm like, wow, this is super cool. They do that in some Queens. They don't deliver this in Harlem, man. Not that I remember. I digress. But you would have sweets with ice cold milk back then from a glass. Not when it's too super sweet. It got to be water with ice in the water. Anywho, I digress. So the water's ready. I'm ready for the cheesecake. She was like, "Oh no, I forgot. Here, here's my doggy bag. You can have my doggy bag. This is the food you eat off of, like you're a child, like you would eat from your mom. If she go to a restaurant, but mommy would bring us home new food, your own food. I say, mama. But you know how you do your kids in the hood, FBA family, and you don't mind because you're a kid and it's your auntie or your mama. I'm like, I'm 30 years old. I'm not eating her leftovers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was it new? I didn't touch that bag. I was like, is it new food? Maybe, I know some adults, they still see you as a baby. If they've known you since a baby in the family, that's how they see you. They don't care if you're 30, they don't give a shit. I'm like, she's bugging. So no, I didn't touch that Cheesecake Factory bag. I'm like, what? I don't know. I think the people she was with treated her. She's good at that. She seemed to acquire. I don't back then. I don't know about now. People who would treat her. She told me once when in the house on the south side, I was chilling in her room with her back before the explosive thing when I defended my mother and she went off and things went downhill from there. Could you imagine? And I have no regrets on defending my mom. Semi no regrets of what mommy said to me near the wash machine, and I'll get to that in mommy's next video. But in any event, I have no regrets on defending my. Wouldn't you defend your mom, her honor? But it's reflexive for most people. But in any event, including her, Liv defends her mom to this day. So I share grandma. But anywho, oh, she's we still in Vegas. Oh yeah, back in her room, one of her friends paid her phone bill. And she said, you see how he paid it? She said, I don't believe in having friends that can't do anything for you. And I'm looking at her like, huh? Because that wasn't my motto with friendship. I think friendship should be friendly. I know it's idealistic, but I think friendships should be friendly if they can help you find. But I don't think, for me, to each his own, its own psychology. I don't think the psyche should be, if they can't help me, they're not a friend. Especially you talking about financial help, and we all in the FBA struggle. But again, you don't talk back to your elders. That just was like, oh Lord. So yeah, I think she was treated to that Cheesecake Factory. Oh, but back to the guy who looked like AJ from 106. He'll be AJ for this story to share. I hope the hell that ain't his name, his initials. Oh God, the irony of life. I don't know, but he looks like him. That type of tall, handsome, dreadlocks and that look. So we're at 7-Eleven. We left Hoover Dam, and then at Hoover Dam, I went up to the side quietly, just to myself, and we're at Hoover Dam at night. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here with someone who hates my guts and two men, but they were gentlemen, but still, I don't know them. Do y'all know what the Hoover Dam look like at night? I'm like, am I crazy? And I ain't got not damn weapon on me. You can't bring your weapons with you on the plane, but Caucasian officers do. You know what I'm saying? They tell me this ain't no third party in the academy. They said all of them. They're like, they won't let us bring a knife, but they let us bring our gun. We in class like, you could bring a gun on the plane. Yeah, you can just show your ID and da 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 da. But they'll keep the TSA. You stole my father's comic books and you taking knives. I don't know. He said, but no, they'll take my knife though. And it's the strangest dichotomy. It's with paradoxes. When we're in class, like, we know the hell you could bring a gun on the damn plane. But my point is, I'm at Hoover Dam unarmed. I don't have nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? But I just went up to the side because you got to start strategizing how the hell you going to run and get the hell on. Listen. She hate my guts, and God knows what she tell people about me, fallacies and foul kind. And how do they believe? How do they believe her? You're too tall. You're an Amazon. You're too scary for you to sell that someone has wronged you, especially somebody pudgy like me. I don't even know how in the hell they would believe that. I don't, like, somebody got the courage to wrong you. I don't know. I get. She's very persuasive. I don't know. So I'm off to the side alone, quiet, and just figuring out which my running pattern is going to be in something in case something pop off. I don't trust her, and I don't trust the hell them because I don't know them, but they know her, and they already seem like they'll side with her and believe her. Okay, sweet Jesus. So I just chilling and praying and meditating, and I can hear the father or the uncle. I want to say father. I hear him say to her, "Well, she's awfully quiet, isn't she?" And this is what Lib says to them. That's how she is. She's always like that. Which is true. When I was young, I was mute from age 0 to 7. So I'm like, unless she's talking about my younger years, no, she never called me quiet before. Not after. No. Mm-mm. She wish I would shut up, but she never. I'm like, she thinks I'm quiet. In this moment, I am because I'm in a foreign setting, and it's dark, and it's desolate. I don't even know if we saw any other people. Until later, it was like, no, you go to Hoover Dam in the daytime. You went at night. And, other people. I'm like, yeah. It was very dusk to dark. What were ancestors? The saints. Oh God, Lord, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. It didn't. They didn't necessarily feel ominous because they were having friendly banter, from what I could hear. But the energy of the space, the place, felt ominous. Ugh, the hell was I think? I should have stayed in the car. But that's me. It's a new experience. I've never been to Vegas yet. But anywho, so we're at 7-Eleven. We leave there. We go to 7-Eleven. And I'm like, well, maybe I can get some snacks in there and da 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 da. I looked in the purse. The money wasn't right. The money just wasn't right. I'm like, I ain't getting out of this doggone car. So she gets out and she goes again. What do you want? Ava, what do you want? I'm like, oh, just something to drink again, because I don't be asking Virgos for anything. But something to drink I could pay back, because the fountain is what, $1.79 for a medium. I said, just something to drink, fruit punch or whatever they have in there, that's from the fountain. I ask for things I can pay back. Very cognizant of that. Not just with Virgos, anybody. All right, so she goes in, and they all go in. I guess the father has to get gas. So he goes and pays for it. He comes and pumps his gas. He gets back in. And then AJ, he comes back in. He comes out next with his goodies or whatever he got. And then she comes out. And then AJ waits a bit. And he's walking with her. The window's partially down in the back on her side, back seat. On her side. The window's down so I can hear them. So he says to her, and maybe it's the way he said it, but at this point, I lost all hope with supermarkets because it's nighttime. They got, I don't know, Vegas grocery store hours. I don't know, but it's night. So I just lost all hope with going to the grocery store on that night because everything is closed. I would assume it's closed. And I thought maybe I just asked the pit boss I met to take me that next day to a Walmart or something to get some things, you know. So I don't know. I wanted to reserve my money for that too. That's another reason I go on 7-Eleven. Like if the pit boss taking me, I need my money to buy. If he takes me to a Walmart or something, I'm not going to ask him. You don't ask the new guy for something because he can ask you for something if you get my gist. So yeah. Now if he offer, that's different. But still, I'm weary because you're too new to be offering. I don't know. What does it mean? Do you want my peach pie for these Walmart groceries? And how the colloquialism of groceries back then for the young people. I digress. Mercy. But I hear AJ ask Lib, "You want to go to the supermarket?" She was like, "No." He was like, "Really?" "Oh, she said you want to go to the supermarket." Pointing to me in the car. And she gonna look towards the car and go, the devil's a liar. And I said, and his wife too. Now, she didn't hear me. I don't even know where that. I think that's Lilith. What Lilith does in my natal chart. That must have been Lily. I don't know where that came from. I was like, and his wife is too. And I'm like, oh Lord, if she heard me, she gonna start screaming like a banshee, powder keg, maybe try to fight me in front of these men. I don't know. Maybe make them leave me at the 7-Eleven. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. But I was bracing myself for impact. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be the bullshit. But she didn't hear me. She wouldn't let that slide. She didn't hear me because she got back in the car, and I'm thinking she's gonna have two cups, two beverages in hand. She only had one beverage in hand. To her credit, it was the giant size. Those 7-Eleven enormous size big cups. But I'm thinking she's asking me, "What do you want?" to get it, and I got my $2 ready to pay her for the. Thinking she got me the medium size or whatever, or got me just any size. But my $2 is ready to hand to her because I don't play gifting games with Virgos if I can help it. No shade to the Virgos, all right? I've been studying astrology too long. Please don't take it personal, right? They're good Virgos. Iyanla Vanzant, I love her. Big Daddy Kane, I love him. Chris Tucker, Michael Jackson, of course, I love him. So just it's not all Virgos, but in any event, whew, I look at her and go, "Oh, where's mine? Oh, I got this for us to share." I said, "Share? Yeah, share. Here's your straw. Share. These juice from the fountain, I think they're affordable now in 2025. I'm like, why do you have to share something so affordable? They were affordable then. I'm like, this is before 2003. I'm like, share. And I'm 30. I'm not like a teen or a little kid. I'm like, I couldn't even make. And I was on broke artist mode, gambling my little spending monies and losing it and winning it and losing it, just vicious addiction. But I had enough for a juice. I couldn't believe it. A slushy or whatever it is, the hell I ordered. And she said it with an attitude, like, yeah, share with that attitude. And you can feel she may start stuttering and just getting angry, just powder keg. And I'm like, oh, so you rarely take your straw and but again, psychic readings tell me what that was. That was the water, the fourth element. She needed you up in the air. She needed your subconscious mind that's sleeping in the same room. And they're gonna ask you all the doors closed, the closet, all that was closed, and did you salt all the corners? I'm like, salt all the corners in the hotel room? They was like, you should do that anyway. You know what the hell went on that hotel room before you got there? Spiritual people will cleanse a hotel room like nobody's business. Because they don't know what happened in that bed. You don't know if there was some sort of I won't repeat the. You don't know what horrors happened. You don't know the history of that room. So when they get to spiritualizing and cleansing that room before they lay their head down, shout out to the my spiritual friends and communities that we study with. Oh my goodness. So they be like, you should do that anyway. It's a hotel room. You didn't salt the mattress. You don't Lysol and salt your hotel mattress. I'm in the reading like, I'm 30, but maybe 31, a little over 30, early 30s. I'm like, oh, yeah. So this is all alleged entertainment purposes only. But she allegedly needed the four elements, and they was like that was the liquid, the water. If you have your own drink, she's not sharing liquid with you. I'm like, what? Just they said you lucky she didn't have one straw. I hush because she'll be yelling liar. But I don't know. Y'all study the Destiny Swap videos and the four elements and even when me and my sister got in a pool in Macon, Georgia, the Caucasoid got out and then got back in when we got in, and she just was standing there looking at us. And me and my sister was like, "What's wrong with her?" I said, "We're melanin and we have an organic wound. Get the hell out of this water." Even though you Florida water, you spritz yourself with Florida water. Let me be quiet. But you spritz yourself appropriately before you get in water. You pray, you bow to mommy waters. You do all your prayers before you enter water, period. The beach, all that. You know what I'm saying? But that moment, the element of water, oh God. Let me hush. Y'all done seen Emoto? What's the Japanese doctor name? Who did the water experiment, talking into the water? Sweetly talking and then talking meanly talking and water. When you're in your mama's womb, your amniotic fluid. The earth is 3/4 water, The body is 3/4 water, and you're in that sack of water before you're born. You break your water. They have your baby. You know when Beyonce had the video, she's in the yellow coming out in that water with her Ochun, Ashe Ochun, yeah, Ochun, 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 mama. And rebirth Ochun, and the water comes out the church. Hush. Let me just hush. Water is not a game. So they was like, you lucky she didn't make you share the same straw, let alone just the same cup. They were like, did she backwash? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But they gave me baths. Let me hush. But they did things to me after that Vegas trip, okay? But I'm telling you, OMG. Okay, let me start with Margo. Oh, Lord. I'm going to get some cool water. Hold on. Y'all. I'm not going to sing Paul Robeson. Nobody knows. The trouble that I've been through. What's the Paul Robeson song? I say it. He pour some libation. I say Paul Robeson. Oh, my goodness. Just for, like, punish for existing or something. Tamar Braxton. Shout out, listen to Healing. So you're not a fan of yours? I'm too old to be. I'm a fan of Tony Braxton. Your sister, dope as that. I was a fan of Tracy and Trina too. You know what I'm saying? I like Tawana's work ethic. You know, she's a Virgo. No shade to Tawanda. You know what I'm saying? But when Tamar did a interview, a video, this is years ago, maybe 2 years ago, maybe when I seen it, maybe feel like 2 years ago. She's like, I feel like I'm being punished for being Tamar. Did she say punished or penalized? One of them is a P word. She said, I feel like I'm being penalized for being Tamar, not Braxton. Just first name. Here we go again. I feel like I'm being penalized for just being Tamar. I'm like, girl, I know your struggle. I know that pain, girl. Like you're being, like racism, you're being punished for existing. To quote Lauryn Hill, like he has to justify his existence. She said this on stage. Also Lauryn Hill quote, the victimizer was once the victim. And that term, playing the victim, you notice there's no term called who was playing the victimizer. It's a unit. It's a coupling unit. Victimizer, victim. But I think it's another way to shame the victim into being quiet about what happened to you. Are you playing the victim? No one wants to play the victim. I went to HB Studios. I studied acting, fine arts in college. I didn't want to play the victim for damn money. I'm like, well, what is this script about? No. So no one wants to play that. No one wants to. That's not a desire. Oh, Jesus. You know, some people lie about it. Not I. Hell, I've been through shit. Anyway. Oh, Lord. Let me get some cool water. This one is not this. I need refreshing. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh. We're about to start Margo, the youngest of the six. I don't want to promise. I'm gonna try to promise that when I do my siblings, it won't be this daggone long. But as a youngin, your formative years, the elders in your family do have a strong impression on you. They leave a strong impression on the young people in the family. Children are like sponges, they say. They don't, you ought to be seen and not heard. So that's telling you to shut up. Who cares about your opinion? But that makes you very observant. Look up the esoteric alphabet. It says, was that the esoteric agenda? I saw both of them. I think it's the alphabet. It was still on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube didn't keep a lot of things. Remember when YouTube was the bomb.com back in the days? 05 to 05. And I think the 05 to 09, 2010 YouTube was, oh God, the learning for me. Just over the top. It was just top tier. But it was, so I don't know if the esoteric alphabet or the esoteric agenda is still on here. But the alphabet, I think, it says quiet people give the best advice. Yeah, because we're sitting there studying and observing everything. Look, I didn't miss nothing as a little kid. I was oblivious if you bring candy around. I still am. Lord, don't let none of my good sweets and treats be around. I'm granny grown. Ooh, food is a terrible, good food. Terrible distraction for me. This is awful. You ever heard of gray sheets? What is that, obsessive eating? Gray sheets, why I can't get a hold of you online? I guess still in business? But they have support groups for excessive, I'm excessive snacker. I know I'm big, but you're probably thinking food, which is good food. It's good food. It's gonna cook with love, but just I'm a snack addict. You don't give a shit. All right, let me go get the cool water. I'll be back. Relight the cigar. Oh, should I get a Red Bull? Then I'll be up to 7 in the morning. Oh, God. Oh, Poppy Bear. Oh, why you Pop? I'm motor mouthful now. I hope I'm not waking you up, sweet Jesus. Oh, 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 Papa. I didn't even make a real big. Should I get the Red Bull ain't cold up in the fridge. I know it ain't. Does ginger ale have caffeine in it? You know I'm gonna try that matcha. I'm gonna have a ginger ale with the tangy. You see the bag? Oh my goodness. Oh, sweet Jesus. Hold on, y'all. You can always count on my love forevermore. I need you. Maybe I'm doing my therapy. I should have right. I got my goodies. My cigar. I couldn't find the pepper. Maybe I drunk the darn thing. All right, so I have ginger ale. I have just half a deal. All right, guys. some pudding. Got my water. All right, I'm back. Okay, the timestamp fast forward Margo's 144. Oh, but the Bible says 144. That's 12 times 12. 144, 12 times 12. Reverse 12 is a 21. All right, so Margo, the youngest. Now, she has a sense of humor. Even if she's not trying to be funny, it's usually funny. I give you a for instance. We were Mommy used to give church picnics at Heckscher State Park a lot in the summertime back in the day, the 80s. So, again, Mommy likes the that family vibe. Hold on now. Let me get my goodies together. She invite the family friends, but not just church folks who were invited. You know, family friends. I share the, you know, Mommy invite everybody to the I think the donation was nominal. You just bring, you know, some food. Oh, I share. Oh, I share. Or bring a food, you know, to contribute to the picnic table. Heckscher State Park is at the end of the Southern State Park. Well, you're not from New York. If you're not from New York, but it was. I don't know what it looked like today. It was a very pretty park out in Long Island, and it ends the highway. And I always thought it's super cool that any highway would end in something so pretty like this. And it had a beach and a pool, and you can go to both if you want to. So let me have vanilla pudding. I'm pouring strawberry liqueur in the vanilla pudding. Part of my my cravings is specific. And then with ginger ale. Oh God, I kind of enjoy it while it's still cold. It's so hot back here. But anyway, Margo, heavy set, and people would say she put them in the mind. They didn't even mean it as disrespect. Ashe. They didn't even mean it as disrespect. Upon my candles, 2 candles just went out. I said Ashe to that. They didn't even mean it as disrespect that she remind them of Shirley from the TV show sitcom What's Happening. They just, as a matter of, that's just who they compared her to, with no disrespect. They didn't mean it as a compliment or an insult. So I don't want you thinking they were jonesing or ribbing on her. She don't mind you as Shirley, because Shirley Hemphill, blessings be upon her soul, but Shirley on What's Happening had a wicked sense of humor too. Smart, intelligent, and Margo read books like just. And people, I don't know if this is a thing now. Bullies always bother bookworms. I can't wait to do the Nas video. Oh God, but back then, this is the 70s and 80s, I will overhear adults, again, you don't impugn and insert yourself in adult dialogue. People don't want you doing that when you become an adult. You know, were you invited into this discourse? Okay, we're bantering, mind your business. But you hear things, they wasn't whispering, but they will always wonder if she loved books because she was lonely. And another adult will be like, why are you assuming she's lonely? You know, just because she's a loner don't mean she's lonely. Some people still fuse loneliness with lonerism. I don't know. If you're your own best company, that you're not necessarily lonely if you enjoy your company. That's the way I seen it back then as a teen. But I was fascinated with, a lot of Harlequin and romance novels. So I would secretly get into them too. But I became a secret reader because people kept comparing reading books to some sort of strange loneliness, or, oh, she just into books because she can't get a man. You hear people say this. Not my mom. My mom would defend her sisters. Did they defend her though? Okay, moving on with Margo. But she's into books because the boys weren't into her, and all these other things you would hear. But being a Pisces, I'm sure she was intuitive about people say. I don't think she cared because those books were her world. So I would ask her, and not just because she was smart with academia too. Her and Lib went to Dalton scholarship, academic scholarship, from what they said to us. I believe it. Well, I believed it. I don't know what to believe because I contact Dalton to see. This would have been part of Lib's video. Oh, God, never mind. Because if I don't get on to Margo. But quickly about Dalton. In a recent video here on YouTube, Lib spoke about a racist encounter with a little white girl named Debbie. Debbie, she said, Debbie said to her as kids, at night, do you grow a tail and lizard skin? Paraphrase, but something of scales. That's the word. At night, do you grow scales and a tail? And look, kids can be cruel. Lib was the first one to tell me when I was in high school. The kids can be cruel. I'm like, well, they rule by Aries and Leo. And even though she was into astrology, then she still gave me the blank expression. Well, they are little fire signs. You ever Jimmy Jam, his interview with Sean Stockman of Boys to Men. Good podcast, Sean. He said, you remember the attitude Janet Jackson had as a little kid? I said, she, her moon is in Aries. She was more of her Aries self as a kid, you know. And not only that, Aries and Leo rules children. You know, I have little sassy kids. Your kids are little fire signs. All of them. I get when their birthday are. Birthday is. You know what I'm saying? So the people say, oh no, just Leo rule kids. It does, fifth house, but Aries too. That's that restlessness and oh, let them play, give them something to do. That they're little fiery, cute little entities, babes. Heal the children, protect the babes. Anyway, oh, so refreshing. I'm glad I didn't make tea. I was gonna make tea. It's too hot, man. The tea back here, Lord have mercy. Nah, I get the Janet Jackson and fire signs. Oh, help me. Oh God, let's just stick to Margo. But I wanted to add something with Lib. What I want to add with Lib? Oh God, if it comes back, it comes back. Hell, you see the impact he done had. Lib, funny as all outdoors, a kiki, sense of humor. Um, and in my opinion, family don't get mad. In my opinion, Lib is the only one that didn't seem scared of. Not Lib. Margot's the only one that didn't seem scared of Lib. Margo is our great aunt Margaret's namesake. Their initials are both the same, N-E, and they're both water signs, but their persona wise, they very little in common. I wasn't even sure if Margo liked Margaret. I'm not sure if Margo likes anybody. Maybe she's changed now. I don't know. But to me, she still had a good heart. She still had a good heart, in my opinion. The grumpy, grouchy thing was the exterior, in my opinion, until I got burglarized. I always thought she had a conscience and a heart, but I guess not. Mm-hmm. And then I like Shirley. And I really like Shirley when it was comparing her to Margo. And also when Margo is like, you know, explaining something, speaking some wisdom, just the mouth area, not the entire face, but the mouth area puts you in the mind of Whoopi Goldberg. You know how Whoopi explains things, not just on The View, but interviews. I love Whoopi's interview with the Actors Studio. Love it. Classic, classic. I like Dave Chappelle's interview on there as well. Hell, that show made me want to be an actress. But in any event, one of the reasons, other than people saying I'm expressive and all these other, you know, people attack these adjectives onto you, like, well, maybe I am. Certain adjectives. Oh, this is delicious. Vanilla pudding. You put a strawberry liqueur in it. Oh, mercy. Mm, 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 mm. Pardon my sweet tooth, y'all. So Margo. What Margo and Great Aunt Margaret had in common, that loner thing. Because Great Aunt Margaret's apartment in Harlem, beautiful. Oh, and just no cat, just her. So I was like, you don't want a cat? She was like, oh no, another a responsibility? No. Just think of how the apartment looked. You saw Hoodlum with Lawrence Fishburne. That because she came to Harlem in the 50s. Just beautiful pieces, just a beautiful place. And my mom got her out of there and brought her to Queens to our house when the 80s that block got real bad. Harlem, the Jamaicans took over that block or something. When I see Unique Mecca Audio's video, I want to ask them, were you part of that block? And me, just as oblivious and ditzy as ever, every time I visit my great aunt Margaret, I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything out of sorts. And my homegirl, my former homegirl, she lived on St. Nick. She from St. Nick, the projects, but she lived on, is it St. Nicholas? No, that's St. Nick. What is that? Not from Harlem. But the tall Lionel Hampton building, what's that street? As if a Harlem Night is listening to this and can tell me. But she lived in that building, and when I visit, when I'm in Harlem from Queens, I make my rounds and visit my Harlem people. If I'm in the mood for walk, usually I'm walk with teenagers. God, energy. My Reeboks, flavors of there's colors and flavors of Reeboks. Oh, that was my teen sneaker choice. I like the Avia too and the A6. What else I liked? Um, the Lotto. I like the Lotto. I didn't have many of those. I like to wear them when I went to play the numbers. Allegedly, I was under 18. This gambling thing. Let me put on my lucky lottos and go play a number. Never mind. Never mind. But allegedly, huh? But Deodoras. God, the 80s kicks. Lord have mercy. K-Swiss, you know what I'm saying? But favorite, Reebok 5411s. Oh, God. Redman and sitting with his cute self. He said it made in one of his bars. Hold on. Oh, that's refreshing. You gotta drink it was cold. So you squeeze a little lime in your ginger ale. I do. Ain't nothing like a little lime or lemon squeeze in your soda. Whew. So, it's cold, refreshing. I know it's not healthy. I'll get some coconut water later. All right, so what's this friend's name? Bobby in my memoir. Bobby was like, "You go on that block?" She from Harlem now. I'm like, "Yeah, why was wrong with my great aunt?" Girl, do you know what they doing on that block? On the roof throwing bottles down. I'm like, what? I'm telling you, I never saw anything. I never heard anything. Maybe it's the time of day I went. I have no idea. But Bobby was telling the truth because she called my mom and was like, "Do you know what they're doing outside? I got to get the hell out of here." And that apartment was too lovely to leave. So I knew it was real in the field. And then the Scorpion don't want to leave their abode. Beautiful, beautiful home. She's a lady. Everything just dainty and beautiful. Anyway, so what did that come? Oh, that's what Margo has in common with her, that loner thing. And the artist. Margo can draw. I don't even know if she still does her art. When she lived with us on 116th Street, and her rapport she had with my brother, this probably be in the siblings video. They only born 2 years apart, but that's his auntie. And I tell you, if you go to the store for her, it's not just keep the change. She'll give you extra money for going, and you can buy what you want. So I'm like, okay, there's a difference between Pisces and Virgo. A stark difference. You know what I mean? I know they're oppositions, but oh, Lord. Just extremely generous. Grumpy, but generous. It's just a Pisces. Yeah. So he would get her Hershey's with almond, and she would put them in the freezer, and just... I remember when I used to hear hot comb, because I had thick, natural hair, and TV, okay, impressionable. And I wanted it straight, and they was like, "Oh, you can use a hot comb to straighten your hair." See, leaving kids home alone. Why I put that plastic rubber made, not called rubber made, what is it called? Well, plastic rubber comb on a daggone hot ass fire. And Margo came out that bedroom. She's like, "What is this, bro? What are you doing?" I think I'm gonna hot comb my hair. I was maybe 6. She was like, "Are you crazy?" In the event, just fun. She didn't hit me, but she was like, she got the fire and stuff under the control. She made me. She said, "When it cooled, you're gonna have to get that rubber off." And I'm very skinny in Harlem as a little girl. I'm like, what? Figure it out. I'm not cleaning this up. So that's another memory. She made me, get that rubber. My little tiny little fingers had to get the rubber with a butter knife, and I had to get that melted comb up off the stove. And don't be all day because I gotta cook. And I'm like, oh Lord. Yeah, I was gonna hot comb my hair. I learned about chemistry and physics then. And then once it was all clean, she explained what the hot comb is, and she went in the drawer and showed me. And yeah, my hair was still natural. It's just a lot of it braids, and I was tender headed. Oh God. I just knew about hot comb my hair was gonna be manageable. And it was, once mommy allowed my hair to be hot comb. You get about a good, I don't know, 3 or 4 days before it get puffy again. But me myself could comb it and brush it without being in pain. Never mind the hot curl, bumpy curling. Anyway, so Margo, good memories, just good fun memory, just funny lady, funny, and I also admired her because she didn't seem scared to live. Little kids notice that stuff. Not at all. She didn't seem scared of her one bit. And those are the two closest siblings, in my opinion, of the six. And Lib wasn't mean to her, so that makes me look at Margo like, okay, there must be something special going on here. They didn't have the same dad, even when they got the same dad. No, different dads. Speaking about different dads, Margo has a brother, had or has a brother. I don't know. I don't remember his name either, but I knew it then. And this is before I heard the term. This is the '70s. I didn't hear the term DNA yet. But her brother was an or is an artist too. He worked for a company where he did sketches. And I remember the adults, around saying, "Well, why don't he get Margo a job?" But he seemed distant from Margo. Then I don't know, maybe they cool now. I have no idea, but he didn't seem interested in helping her or anything to do with her. So I don't know if he's seen her as a love child of his parents. I have no idea. That's a thing. Like, yeah, we have siblings, but you're a product of my father's philandering or allegedly, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it was very hurtful that he wouldn't help her get a job where he had a job at, being an artist, drawing. But she could draw anything. She used to make and she loved cats. She loved cats. Her cat killed my bunny rabbit. Mommy bought me a bunny rabbit for a class project back then. And then mommy took me out. We came back in, and it was you seen the movie Give You Very a Fatal Attraction with the bald bunny rabbit. Yep, it wasn't bald, but it was just a bloody, and I was just screaming. And I missed my bunny rabbit, but I think I seen him again in Queens by the church, and I went to visit my ex in upstate you know what I'm saying in that place, and I saw the cute little the lawn, the grass was so nice. Here I go, just as ditzy and oblivious. I sit down across from him at the table, here Capricorn, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, the grounds are so green and pretty. This is nice up here. Guess what? I saw my bunny rabbit from childhood. I think he reincarnated. And then you're in a lunchroom, the cafeteria full of other inmates, and they date or they're visitors. And it looked like the whole room went silent and looked at our table. And he had Capricorn, Saturn, he wasn't with that. And he's like, yo, Mom, chill. What? Come on, you wildin'. We talking about bunny rabbits. Ain't nothing pretty about this. He free now. Shout out. He could rap too. Shout out. Oh, God. I need to do an ex-boyfriend's video and bring him and talk about, oh. Yeah, but he could rap. There's so many dope rappers in the hood that just never became public figures. Heck, my son is one of them. Yeah, this ex could rap. He was rapping at the table. Yeah, he dope as hell with them bars. But anywho, I'm talking about bunny rabbits and the grass being green and nice and pretty. He said, we keep the grass nice. Free labor, slave labor, keeping this place pretty. We ain't nothing pretty about this. I didn't mean no harm. My Chrissy Snow Glory. But I think my bunny rabbit reincarnated and be following me. Now you're like, they all bunny rabbits look alike. But it's a soul connection. I'm like, no. I'm like, is that you? I named him. I won't say his name. I can't think of a pseudonym for him. Yeah, girl, you gonna give the bunny rabbit a pseudonym? Yes, I am. I took enough metaphysical classes and legal classes to know everybody need to get a damn pseudonym, okay? Including your pets. Hey, that's some more shit now. But yeah, her cat killed my bunny rabbit. And she was spanking, and I was like, cats get spankings? I was like, stop! So I'm yelling and crying, telling her to stop hitting the cat with a belt. I'm like, don't hit her. It's not gonna bring my bunny rabbit back. I could not believe, and we worked so hard. We covered the cage. Cats are smart, but how's the cat strong enough to lift up that? My mom had a heavy thing on, and they could jump high. Cause mommy had the bunny rabbit cage way up near the ceiling. You actually had to get a ladder to get up there and put it up there. Cause I was gonna take it to class that Monday. And she put like a heavy weighted down thing. Cause I was like, can he breathe through that? Yes, baby, he could breathe. He could breathe. It has holes in it. Be fine. Cause we didn't think that cat would go way up there or could lift that thing. So the cat had to jump way up there. How? I don't know. Of course, mommy moved the ladder. I don't know how the hell the cat got up there. I don't know. I don't know. And then the cat had to move the thing that covered the cage. And then the bunny rabbit stayed in the middle. I don't think the cat's paw could reach. I don't know how the cat killed that thing. But according to the psychic reading, it wasn't the cat. I'm gonna shut up. It wasn't Margo. Margo, they ain't say it was you. Again, psychic readings for entertainment purposes only. I'm like, no, I'm in the reading. No, the cat killed it. No, no, no. That's the story. I'm like, but the cat got a beating for killing it. Well, the cat just caught an L because the cat didn't kill that bunny rabbit. He did smell it and wanted to eat it, but and the catty bitch knew the cat to be blamed. It's what the psychic said to me, for entertainment purposes only. No shade, no shade. But envy and jealousy is horrible, y'all. It's horrible. And you should be envying the kid, but it's like that's my that. Let me hush. Put the psychic reading in here. But Margo did feel bad, and you can see the remorse about the cat. She thought, well, assuming her cat killed my bunny rabbit. And this is Pisces. I had all the free candy that week. Anything I wanted from the corner store. Anything I wanted, she would buy me. So that's the reparations. People don't know FBA shouldn't get reparations. Reparations mean repair. Repair. To apologize is nice. My cat killed you. Everybody rabbit. Forgive him. The apology is warm and sweet, but then the reparations is the candy and the sweets. Literal, Some people don't get what reparations are unless they want it for themselves. You know what that is? Oh, Lord. It's repair for something that went wrong under your watch. And of course, the owner of the cat takes responsibility for the cat's behavior. Like you would take responsibility for underage children's behavior. All right, so Margo, the great artist. Oh, the artistry in Harlem. She would draw on cardboard. Allie, your sister remembered this too when we were grown. Felt like we were in our 30s or 20s discussing it, this recall. She would draw on cardboard dolls. Draw on dolls and I don't know, draw like a back for it. I don't know what the filler was. This is cardboard, something you would just throw away. Nothing artists, a lot of artists don't like to throw out anything. They can make art seemingly out of anything. Damn near. And I'm like, wow, this is cardboard? And she just would take yarn and thread the needle through the yarn to make hair for the doll. A homemade doll from cardboard. We've seen homemade dolls from cloth, yes. This is from cardboard. I was in awe. And then she made clothes. Was sewn in Harlem. Sister sewn in Harlem, Brooklyn, the boroughs. Sewn in the 70s was very commonplace. Your own clothes you wear on your human body. But she sewed clothes for her doll. Nice stuff. And the hair was yarn. Oh my God. Margo's artistry. I wonder if she kept it up. I don't know. I don't remember her doing it in Queens in that house, Southside. No. Maybe she's been stopped. I don't know. But I know artists got to be inspired. So if you're not inspired, you're not going to create, I guess. But if you forced in creations, they typically don't like, their forced creations. So you have to definitely be inspired. But that stood out. Those cardboard dolls. Yeah, she could definitely draw. And she had a good rapport with my brother, her nephew. Like they grew up together. So when they stopped speaking, I know that hurt him. He said, I see you in the bank and we don't even speak. I'm like, why? You didn't rob her house? It's just weird how someone wrongs you and then they're mad at you. Go figure. I don't get it. But it was projected. Maybe they feel like you should be mad at them. So they like, you gonna be mad at me for what I did to you? Well, fuck it, I'm mad at you too. Sentiments mutual. That's why I did it. I don't know what they thinking, but I don't know. But I know that hurt him because they Pisces and they were close. They were really close. That I remember. I ain't no hearsay. I seen it. So it's just it's wild. But hard worker. Yeah, just a funny, wise lady. Oh, Hexter State Park on the way in the van. There were kids, little, maybe older kids, but younger than me. So if I'm a teenager, maybe these kids were 12, 12-ish, 11. Talking about younger kids, maybe 5, 6, I don't know, on the van being, kids, loud and, which would usually irritate Margo, but they were being loud and church is a church trip, church kids. So the 12-year-olds was like, calm down, sit still, put your seatbelt on. And they kept saying, stop being so childish. Bless her heart, the 12-year-old, trying to get them together and simmer down and let's get, get on the road. So she must have repeated, stop being childish to children one too many daggone times. And Margo turned around and said, what do you mean? Stop being childish. They're children. I know it's not a kiki to you, but if you were there in that moment, it was a kiki. The van started laughing, but she wasn't trying to be a kiki. You get it? She was serious. Like, will you stop telling them stop being childish when they're children? And the child is 12. She was like, well, her face, she didn't say it. You don't talk back to adults back then. But her facial expression was, it appeared to be, according to me, I'm what, 15, 16? Her facial expression was, well, I'm a child and I'm not acting this way, but, little girls mature faster. Usually, statistics prove that. But it was a kiki. And she stopped. She stopped telling them to be childish. But she still was trying to get them to simmer down and get in the seatbelt so we can go. Oh, God, Heckscher State Park. We had such a good time back then. But anyway, this was Southern State now. For some reason, one of Anita Baker's songs always remind me of that park and those trips because without a doubt, but we used to go before the song came out, but I won't say the name of the song. Save some things for the memoir. But seemingly without a doubt, every time we were en route going, that song would come on the radio. This is when the radio was all that in a bag of chips. Diamond chips, okay? I'm like, why is this song always playing when we going? And then when we coming back, another song from for my ears, an oral recollection, AURL, a recollection. Another song from another artist will always play when we're coming back home. I'm like, what is the science behind this? Never mind. It was a beautiful, beautiful ride and a beautiful, beautiful trip. A beautiful, beautiful day at the park. Okay. The very last one I went to, my father. Interesting. Oh, I had to save that for the memoir. But Margo, this great artist, just was very, very grumpy and grouchy, and I don't know. Humans were so multifaceted and complex, and I don't know. As much as I love her sense of humor, her intelligence, her book recommendations, and she said it's the author. Because I used to say, well, how do you know what to buy? She said it's the author. You fall in love with their style, their prose, their topics. Once you fall in love with the author, you can pretty much buy whatever they write. So she introduced me to the book loving world of books other than astrology. Because up until then it was astrology and just the little kitty books I had from childhood, bedtime story kitty books. So I got into other types of books through her, and thanks. So high school, again, I must have did something. I don't know, missed curfew. I have no idea. Me and my older brother got kicked out more than the law allowed. Especially with me if I'm under 18. I'm like, is this illegal? Mommy's like, it's legal. Get out. And then she's calling looking for me 2 weeks later. Or maybe 7 days later. She knew I usually go to Charlene's house uptown. And I'd be happy because I got freedom up there. Yes, I do. Okay. But this time I got kicked out. I went to Brooklyn. By this time, Margo had left the Bronx, Harlem, and had an apartment in Brooklyn, Crown Heights. And I don't even know how that came to be. Maybe she called the house, and just before the burglary. I'm a teenager still. And maybe she called and I was upset. And she was like, what's wrong with you? Call looking for my mom. Maybe mommy wasn't home. I'm like, oh, Bobby kicked me out again. I gotta go unpacking. It had to have been something like that. Because my instant go-to when I get kicked out is Charlene's house. I call Charlene, Bobby's kicking me out. I can't come in 3 days. She'd be like, come on, Kiki. And I'm like, I don't even know what I do. That black sheep syndrome, oh Lord. But any event, pardon me, allergy sinuses, and it was always fun because it's freedom. Freedom at Charlene's house. Freedom, okay? And I'm in Harlem. I'm home. Oh heavens! And I can go to school from there. Oh, just freedom, okay? 7 days, usually 7 days. Charlene's like, your mama said to go back home. I'm like, oh okay. Fun's over. But maybe mommy just needed a break from me. I had no, but I don't play her close. I am so distant. I'm like, how do I irritate you when I'm minding my business? Maybe it's a distance that irritated her. Hmm. I know one time she and my older brother weren't speaking. She was like, "You're not gonna live in my house where I pay the mortgage and not speak to me." So maybe it's the distance. I don't know. My mom could be naturally distant. Where do I get it from? Both my parents are aloof. Mommy's friendly though. She's just distant if you hurt her feelings or where you just need to be distant. You know, space is healthy. To regather, reprieves, hmm respite. But somehow, some way, I end up at Margo's, and clearly she must have got in a conversation with mommy because when I left, mommy gave me an envelope. Always an envelope. Charlene's too, but I would give it to her mom, Ashe, Miss Ola. It's an envelope. Give this to them when you get there. So it's like mommy always covered my room and board. I don't know. She's just responsible. You have my child. She ain't gonna live there. No lodging for free. Mm-mm. So she gave me the envelope. Give this to my sister. Even when I would spend the weekend at Libs in junior high, when I was in junior high school, a little bit in high school, give this to Lib. And you don't open it, it's sealed, but you can feel it. You know what money feels like, cash. You know what that feels like. And I do, I follow orders. I better. I know it's good for me. And that was the best 2 weeks in Brooklyn ever. And my high school was in Manhattan and all the boroughs. That's another reason why I wanted to go to high school in the city. Because I'm born in Manhattan. To me, I'm going back home. But if you go to Queens High School, most, if not all of those students live in Queens. They're from Queens. That's where they live. Manhattan high schools attracted students from all five boroughs. That was a serious pulling card for me. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to meet kids from all the boroughs. All right, cool. And then I didn't know anyone. That has to be in the DNA. Because my grandbaby is like, I don't want to go there. I'm like, but it's a good school. Da, da, da. You know, we're on the phone. She was like, but all my friends are going there. It's a distraction. I can't focus. I'd rather go to a school where I know no one so I can focus on my academic, studies. I'm like, that was my thought going to high school too. DNA is serious. She was like, really? I'm like, I kid you not. I wanted to go to school in the city, to return to the city where I was born, and I wanted to meet new people from other boroughs. Not so much to focus on academic studies now, but just Queens. I would know everybody from junior high in Queens and part of elementary in Queens. Queens is Queens. Other boroughs not coming from. Every now and again, you may get a Brooklyn student in a Queens school. Every now and again, maybe one or two, but Manhattan is definitely the mecca. And I had mucho fun, uber fun in high school. But any event, well, that's the point. Why did I get that? Yeah. As soon as I went to school, I asked all of my Brooklyn friends, "You know where Crown Heights is in Brooklyn?" And God, I love her. She was like, "I'm from Crown Heights. That's around the way. What block? Where she live on?" And I told her, "It was like, girl, that's around the way. We're gonna come get you." I'm like, "But I thought it was Jewish people in Crown Heights." It is, and we did too. I'm gonna come get you. Oh God, I had so much fun in Brooklyn with her. Again, and freedom. Margo don't care what time you come home. Mommy, there's a curfew, a strict curfew, or you'll be grounded again. No, Charlene and her family doesn't care what time you get in. It's not I don't care because I don't care about you. It's just a sense of freedom. My nieces, Charlene's daughters, they had freedom too. Maybe it's a Harlem and Brooklyn thing. I don't know. But Margo, no freedom. Margo would say, "Here's your keys. You better copy the key," and she gives you money. Oh my God. Margo gave me money every day. Mommy gave me $5 a week in school. Margo gave me $5 a day. And don't do something for her because she's gonna pay you for that too. You go to the store, you get paid, and you keep the change. That is major as a teenager, as a kid. Oh my goodness. She worked for transit. That made me think, well, maybe I should work for transit. They paying this well? Little kids would think anything back then. I don't know what the kids, the alpha, was it alphas now? Gen Z, I don't know if they think of money how we thought of money. But I mean, $5 a day? I thought I was rich. And this stands out when I was in Brooklyn where she had something on her nightstand. I don't remember. And I'm like, well, what is that there? What do you do with it? Is it useful? She said, useful? Of course it is. We think I have it there for symbolic purposes. Why did that feel like that's the first time I heard the term symbolic purposes or symbolic? And I just laughed the way she put it. I don't even know what it was. She said, of course it's useful. What do you think is just sitting there for symbolic purpose? just witty. And she was going to a wedding. She was like, what do you think about this gift? And these gifts. I think she had plural gifts. Like, which one should I give? I don't know who's getting married. I feel like it's somebody, co-worker, somebody from transit, maybe. And we talked about the boroughs when I was there. Like, how do you like Brooklyn? Because, you know, we from Harlem. And she said, I mind my business and go to work. That's how I like Brooklyn. The rent was something I could afford. And it was just great dialogue when I was there. No beef. No, just me and her. And you can order, Brooklyn had all those good restaurants. Oh my God, you could order all the food you want. She was like, what do you want? So I think maybe she cooked once, but just everything else, you know, let's go out, let's go get it. Back then, the person who delivers the food works at the actual restaurant. It wasn't an Uber Eats or anything like that back then. I guess I'm old school. That's what I'm used to. Like, no, I prefer the person that worked there deliver the food, but I had to come around here. Yeah, to just come around the DoorDash and Uber Eats. Just, but never mind that part. But the wedding gift was these white plush bathrobes. I mean, thick, like pretty thick, like the Plaza Hotel, like that. I'm like, these are lovely. She was like, they're $100 a piece. I said, $100 a piece for a bathrobe? You must really like these people. Just a couple. She said, well, they respectful, they're nice, they're coworkers. They're cool, they're co-workers. But it didn't feel like it was enough love for that type of price in the 80s for bathrobes. I couldn't believe she said that. Plush, they were gorgeous. And I don't know why that stands out to me. I guess because of her Piscean generosity. Because I'm thinking you're uber close paying that kind of money, $200 plus tax. But she just said, no, we're cool, but we're colleagues, you know. You just don't go to someone's wedding with a cheap gift. That's embarrassing. And knowing her, she probably put money in the card, too. So her generosity stands out to me a lot. It really, really does. And that reminded me of that argument in the house in Southside, 1990. Cold step, cold day, just cold. And she looked at me and said, I don't know what you think you're getting back. Ruby, I'll pay you back your money. That's when I started, you know, learning about the more about the mommy paying G's at the closing and co-signing for that big monstrous house. I'll give you back your money when I get my tax return. I don't, but you bet not be expecting that deposit back. And I was like, I wasn't. I just came here to get my things. So I just remember that moment. Like, it's projection. I guess anyone moving out would probably expect their deposit back. I wasn't even thinking about the deposit back. It's just, you're probably like, she still owe you that deposit from 1990, huh? But I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, I just want my things that they stole. I didn't even know they would steal them. It didn't even cross my mind they would steal them. I know you had the preview after the boosting binge and you went in your closet and took it was a preview. No, hindsight is 2020. But good, other than the burglary and that house in Queens, Southside Jamaica, Queens, pretty decent memories as a kid with Margo. She's just so funny. I just don't know. But something she said while I was staying with her there. Something she said about wanting to get away. And I'm like, well, where will you go? You're going to leave? Because in our community, FBA community, you land a city or state job, you got a good job. Where the hell are you going? Even though I dated when I went to work for Transit, you see how impressionable your family can be? Ultimately, me and your sister did go work for Transit. And I dated a motor man. Shout out to Randy. And he wanted to leave that job for music. I'm reading a book, and the mother told her child, don't date musicians. What was I just reading? I'm like, why not date musicians? My ex-husband is a musician. What the hell do you mean by that? I can't remember. I just read this recently. It felt like yesterday. I read so much. And I read 2 and 3 books at the same time. Right now I'm on Lucky Luciano biography. He was a Sagittarius. And one of Jesse Ventura's books. And they wouldn't have that in there, don't marry a musician. I don't know where I read that at. Oh, Never mind. That is just stick with me. It'd be on the tip of my brain cell. Because I remember saying, why? What's wrong with musicians? I was told to date, my elders date a guy who has an outlet so he won't cheat. Well, chances are he won't cheat because he has. The thought is most men cheat because they need an outlet, escapism. But if his art is his escapism, maybe he won't cheat. Bullish. Musicians cheat too. What the hell? But that was said back then. I digress. But yeah, we were just talking, and she went, into her feelings about being even more of a loner. Like she wanted to escape, like New York, just leave and tell no one where she's going. I'm like, but what about your job? And she said the same thing the motor man Randy told me. If that job doesn't make you happy, leave it. I don't care how good a job it is with benefits, and because he and I was in the movie. He took me to see Wall Street, the first one with Michael Douglas. Just the '80s, and so I think they have Wall Street 2 and 3. No, just 2. And I recommend it. I recommended that movie. I like Wall Street. I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I liked it. Maybe Randy made me like he explained the stuff. You gotta know how to invest in. Da, da, da. But I like this. I recommended that movie to your sister, and her and Lib went to see. I think it was Lib and some other people, and they said that movie was horrible. She said people was in the movie theater whining, talking about when is it gonna be over. Just the way your sister said it, I fell out. I'm like, I liked it. And then I think they got me back by recommending. Was it them? Somebody said, "I'm gonna get you back for this." For what? For this bad recommendation? You wait. But it's when you least expect it. I think they recommended The Ninth Gate, a Johnny Depp movie. Is it Nine Gate or something? And I'm into astrology and numerology. Any movie with a number in it, I'm like, why is this? Why is it a number? Let me go see why. Let me decode. Let me decode. But I didn't think one ways twice about it. But I think somebody in that theater showing was like, "This is horrible. When is it gonna be over?" And I bust out laughing because I'm like, I had a stranger, a Caucasoid lady, a Becky, no shade. I asked her, I said, "Did you see Wall Street by any chance?" She was like, "Huh?" But I wonder if it's the same person that was in that theater with my cousin, and they was like, "Oh God, when is this gonna be?" Never mind, Allie. I know you're like, "Huh?" Never mind. I'm quirky and sleepy, and this ginger ale doesn't have enough caffeine like Dr Pepper. I'm trying to drink it while it's still cold. That pudding was good with the strawberry liqueur, vanilla. Oh, good. That was good. Made me getting tad tipsy. It wasn't all that much strawberry liqueur to get tipsy. I digress. But in Margo's place, she was talking about how she just wanted to escape, but Pisces escapism. But she wasn't in the mood to hear my astrological take on that. She said, "I just want to go away and never ever come back again. I don't want anyone to know where I'm at. I just want to start anew someplace else." I'm like, "Where? Like another state, another country?" She was like, "I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know." She said, "You seem like a sweet girl. You always was sweet. I don't get compliments in this family." So I was sitting like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, yeah, a quiet little girl. Just always a sweetheart. I would take you with me, but you're too close to your mother." I never forget it. I'm like, with the way she kicks me out, she was like, "That's probably because you're not listening. Well, you're not doing your chores. Why is she putting you out? What's going on?" She tells me that you have a fresh mouth. You do? Now, this is proof that I ain't had no fresh mouth with her or Lib. Because she was like, "You do? Since when?" I'm like, I'm not arbitrarily sassy. I don't sass back just out the blue. I'm like, my intent is not to be sassy. I'm just trying to get my point across. She said, "Until you get money across the table where you help her pay them bills, you have no point to get across." That's just baby boomer Gen X psychology. If you're young listening to this, your opinions are not honored if you ain't paying no bills, and that's just was what it was. Okay, I had a different approach with my offspring. "No, you fresh from God. I want to know your opinions. Kids are pure. No, I want. What's on your mind? I want to know. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me." I think they need a sight. Fresh from God, unadulterated, untampered with. What's on your mind? I want to know. But that's just me. So it was a poignant discussion, and I couldn't believe she just wanted to run. But I didn't say anything. Again, you don't talk back to adults. But I'm like, well, what's harassing you? What is making you want to run away? I don't know. But now I know. I think. But psychology classes and sociology and anthropology, spiritual classes that I took over these decades. If you don't feel like you're really searching for yourself, so if you feel hollow, if there's some kind of void in the city and you just don't feel what you need to feel, you may leave, even if it's your hometown, searching for yourself. And that's astrocartography. I get that too. So I don't know what Margo's astrocartography would be for New York City, her hometown. I have no idea. I hear she's down south now. So maybe that astrocartography is fitting with where she's at now. I have no idea. But then I just couldn't believe she would want to leave her adorable place in Crown Heights, a good job with benefits, health benefits and stuff like that, to just escape. Like, where'd you go? I don't know. But I like how she complimented me and said, I would take you with me. You know, you're a sweet girl. Always been a sweet little girl. And paraphrase, I was like, I was. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she just was having a good vibe about me then. But if you felt that way about me, why did you turn the key to burglarize my place? I digress. But she said I couldn't take you. I wouldn't take you because you're too close to your mom. Y'all have the same mannerisms. Oh God, you're reminding me of your mother. No, no, no. I'm like, we had the same mannerisms. She said yes. I don't know. And then again, I'm thinking she's close to Lib. I'm like, you can live without Lib? I guess so. She had her own place that long, so far that long. But yeah, that was fun in Brooklyn with her, and all that good food and $5 a day and freedom. I can hang out with my Brooklyn classmates in Brooklyn, and they showed me a good time too. And more food when hanging out with them. I'm not just restaurants, food in their house, and just gosh, I'm a foodie. Jesus Christ, just a fun filled time. Of course, I would give out free astrology readings. Oh, how I love astrology. But but any of that, yeah, just great memories with her in Brooklyn that time. At the funeral, I'm gonna do a funeral video separate, but what was said to me, again, this is hearsay, I wasn't there for this one, but Q allegedly said, it's clear something happened back then. That's why we don't know each other, her cousins, her contemporaries, the cousins. It's clear something happened back then. That's why we don't know each other. And that something that happened was a burglary. So I'm like, does Q know? I know my nieces know. Back then they're baby girls, but Charlene told them. Because when they were grown, we were talking about it in Charlene's living room. They brought it up, not I. And I'm asking my nieces, grown women, they're mothers now. They all right. They in their 30s, I think. Yes, Lord. I'm like, y'all know about the burglary? They was like, yeah, how could we not know about it? It's something happened in the family. And I'm looking at Charlene like, you told them? Because when it happened, one is 3, the other is 5, I think, or maybe younger. So she's not telling them that kind of story when they're that small. You got to tell them when they're older to comprehend. So I'm like, you remembered the story to tell it later on? And Charlene is like, how could I forget it? I'm the one that helped you get the stuff out, the yard. I'm like, I know, but I didn't think the story would sustain because you're not emotionally attached to it because you're not the one that got robbed. She's like, it was still horrible. I wouldn't forget nothing like that. I'm like, oh. So, yeah, so maybe Q, well, like my nieces found out later on, maybe Q was just never told about the burglary. And if they told her, they telling it from the aspect of being the burglars, who would share that side of themselves. I don't know. But I thought that was so profound to say. It was either before the funeral or after the funeral. I don't know. But that's what was said to me. It's clear something happened back then. That's why we don't know each other. Yeah, what happened was the burglary. What the hell? And allegedly, she also said, everything is not my mother's fault. Talking about Lib. And I'm to the person telling me this, I'm like, whoever said everything is her mother's fault? We don't speak bad about her mother to her. Unless the mother's saying, I know they blame me. I know they blame me. Because whoever told you everything is her mother's fault? So you get parts of the story. I don't know. But that's part of history in America. It's not the world. You get parts of the story. No one's going to tell you they're a bad person and rob someone's house. No one's going to tell you that. Who's going to admit that? That's not going to happen. But in any event, I went to the funeral hoping that the past wouldn't even come up. Let's just go honor mommy and speak about her goodness that she contributed to the world. Just by being a good person is a contribution in my book. It adds to balance, to the hopefully the balance of the good bad thing, the good bad seesaw. I once heard, I think it was a psychology class, but the seesaw analogy. When people put you down, they still want you to lift them up. I know it's bold, it's selfish, it's strange, it's crazy. When they put you down, they want you to lift them up and leave them up there. Stay down on your end of the seesaw and leave them up there and still praise them while they're above you and carry their weight, that luggage. Just praise them while you're seated and holding them up on the pedestal in the air. Keep them high and never ever let them down, literally or figuratively. When you start speaking up for yourself and you say no more, no more this oppressive energy, no more, no more, no more, and you rise up like the phoenix and get off the daggone seesaw and the seesaw go crashing down to the damn ground, they hold you in contempt. If not, want to just get up and fight you, or God knows what else. They don't see the logic in you finally letting them down after you done held them up so long. No, in their mind, you were supposed to never ever let them down unless they say so. Then you got to do it gently. Remember when you're a little kid, how you get the seesaw with your home girl? You got to come up and balance Libra. Oh, here we go. Who designed the seesaw? Shout out to you. It probably was a melanated person. I'm going to look up who innovated that seesaw thing. And the monkey bars. That's my project. I'm going to look up and see who designed the park stuff. Recreational things in the park. In any event. To get off without anyone getting hurt, you both come up even playing field, balance, Libra. You both come up in a balance, and then you gently, scoot you off and get off the seesaw. No one goes crashing down to the ground. And that's a balanced way to deal with relations. You know what I mean? And seesaw is 180 degrees your opposition. Lord have mercy. There's a seesaw when you're looking at the round circle around like the pizza of the natal chart. There is a splay called seesaw, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this is deep. Lord have to me. Part of my quirky vibes. Yeah, this is deep. Yeah, so that's what the psychology professor said. That's what beef is usually about with oppressor and oppressive, oppressed and oppressor. They're used to you having them, extolling them, lifting them up, and and they could be abusing you. You're shooting compliments upward, and they're spewing denigration downward at you. You're complimenting them, they dissing you, and you wake up like, this is bullshit, this is crazy, and you just get off that seesaw and run like hell, and they come crashing down to the ground, and they resent you for that. They resent you for getting off the seesaw. That sounds like a book title. They resent you for getting off the seesaw. Lord, don't let me get to start writing. Lord have mercy. You probably getting splinters all in your ass on the damn seesaw. I need to start writing that. The slanted mindedness of narcissists and bullies. How dare you get off that seesaw? How dare you? I was I was a fool to sit on the damn seesaw with you. I know some of the haters will say that. Well, what you got on the seesaw for in the first place? Well, hell, I thought we were cool. You thought like Nelly and Jelly, Lord. I digress. But the Margo pre-burglary, the Margo experience was cool. To me, she made good liver and onions too. Yeah, and I didn't like liver as a kid, but I would eat her liver and onions. Charlene made good liver and onions too. Mommy liver was good too. She didn't make it often, but her liver and onions would Mommy add green peppers too, tomatoes or white rice. And you got to really add a lot of cayenne pepper to get that liver taste. Well, never mind. God, the food was so good back then. Oh, jeez. Anyway, now why did I bring up the liver? I'm gonna look up the spiritual significance of the liver. Is it because I'm drinking? I didn't drink too much. It's a little strawberry liqueur with the vanilla pudding. It looks so pretty too. Before I ate it all, y'all, I got pink for the zero free dice. Um, I think that's I don't have that's it. There's just good memories of Margo. Funny, getting funny. That burglary. They say you don't know a person till you live with them. I'm like, well, the 2 weeks in Brooklyn was fun. I guess living with them. Like I rented from her. Renting is business, and yeah, that's another saying. You don't know a person till you do business with them, and the business somehow falters, and then you get to see their dark side. Saturn, but downside of Saturn. But yeah, I think that's it. When she came to the house in Queens, and mommy had cooked. She was like, "Well, make me a plate," and I went downstairs. Yes, I washed my hands. I made her a plate. And she was like, "You ain't got no salad?" And she said, "Ruby, you ain't make no salad?" She was like, "I think there's a lettuce, some parts in the fridge. Um, Key go make a salad." I'm like, "All right." So I just broke up some lettuce and that was it. I brought that lettuce, broken up lettuce in the bowl. And Margo was like, "What am I, a rabbit? I'm gonna just, there's nothing else to go with this. There's no salad dressing, just let." I guess you had to have been there. I guess you had been. When I tell you she was a kiki, just a kiki. Oh, post burglary. Aside from my brother seeing her in the bank and she not speaking to him like he robbed her house or some shit, and he looking at her like, "What the hell you mad at me for?" Just strangeness. I seen her in Barnes and Noble. That's the last. Let me think. That's the last time I seen her. Yeah, Barnes and Noble. Queens, Forest Hills. Is that Ashton Street? I don't even know that Barnes and Noble's still there. Astor. No, Ashton. I think something with an A. I like that street. It had, cute shops and stores. It had Baskin and Robbins. Oh, God. I love that area, period, back then. Forest Hills, the train station in Forest Hills. But mommy, for some strange, and mommy don't play that parking trouble. Yeah, parking is terrible around there. It was. This is daytime, a weekday. But mommy was with me, and man, how did I get her to take me over there? That would be a firm no. Mommy must have had business over there because she wouldn't chance park, and then I'm going to go to Barnes and Noble unless I had to go in and get a book for her. I don't even understand how that came to be, but man, me and that combination, man, chilling with us in the daytime. I don't know. I don't know where we were coming from, where we were going. I don't even know how that happened. But it was me, mommy, and man. And I was like, I gotta go to Barnes and Noble. If I said it, then it's for me. Why mommy wouldn't agree with nothing like that. I don't know. Not ordinarily. It had to have been something that made sense to her. Because she's parked outside of the Barnes and Noble, right across the street from it. I go in, I hurry up and get what I gotta get, and I'm online. There's no person in front of us. I'm right behind her online. I'm thinking of metaphysical and spiritual with the path and things of that nature. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is my aunt. Is this my mother's sister? I'm like, oh my Lord. So I gently touch her. I just gently tap her, and she turned around. I said, hi. Because I'm always trying to prove I'm not holding a grudge. I got to get out of that too. But if I care about you, I want you to know that my sentiment for you, my love for you, supersedes the burglary. And I got to get it because no one appreciates that sentiment. But I guess people like me, fellow Hioka empaths, I guess. I don't know. People with a conscience, maybe. But I just wanted her to know that I still love you. You're the one who put me on to books, not just astrology books. You can read other stuff too. And just not just books for school, but, just with books you could travel the world without buying an airline ticket. That's the one that really got me. I don't know if she said it. A few adults were saying that. You could travel the world with a book and never have to leave your house. If that ain't a selling point to read, I don't know what the hell else is. So, I want to use the opportunity to just thank her for getting me into books. That's a cool, it's a cool inspiration to offer, a kid, an impressionable, minor. And I didn't know, but I don't know, it was just awkward. But she smiled. She seemed like she forced a smile. She was like, "Hi, oh hi," and I thought about my brother before I tapped her. I was like, "Well, she see him in the bank and don't speak, and he doesn't speak. This is not a bank; it's a bookstore." But I had trepidation because I'm like, she ain't talking to him, and they were cool. They were buddies, and they the same sign. Shouldn't they get along? I don't know, but I went over, I mulled over it, like, she don't talk to him. Why would she talk to me? Like, he's her contemporary, 2 years apart. But I said, I just don't want to stand here. And then she goes to pay for her stuff, and she could see I was behind her all that time and didn't speak, and she's gonna assume I'm holding a grudge about the burglary. Absolutely not. So I gently tapped her, and I said hi, and she said, "Oh, hi," and the smile seemed genuine, but like, the genuineness seemed had to force itself past her ego to put the smile to happen or whatever have you. And and she said, "How have you been?" I'm like, "I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you?" She said, "I'm okay. In my favorite space." I'm like, "I know the bookstore has become my happy place too." And she was like, "All right, how's your mom?" I said, "She's fine. She's right outside. She's right outside." Man is with her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." Some parts of me thought she would go outside and go up to the car and say hi, like right outside, but just right across the way. If you know Forest Hills and Ashton Street, the street is kind of a little bit narrow. It's double, it's two-way, but it's somewhat narrow. Like when you open the door, blow, you see mommy sitting in the driver's seat, and right there, window down. It was a beautiful day that day, maybe spring, and she paid for her books. And then when the next cashier said next, I went and paid for my books. And then I left out the store and just the bookshop. And I didn't see her by the driver's window talking to mommy. That's how I assumed it would look when I exit the store. Just mommy there, mommy grooving to her music. And man, he had his Walkman on. I'm like, well, maybe he don't like mommy's music. I don't know. And then I walked up to the driver's side. I'm like, "Mom, did you see your sister?" She was like, "Which one?" I said, "Margo." She didn't come up to the thing and say hi. She was like, "No." Margo was in the bookstore. I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Did she speak to you?" I'm like, "She did. She did. I was right on line behind her. Isn't that a doozy?" She's like, "Yeah." She said, "No, she didn't come to the van." Mm-mm. I said, "Well, maybe she just didn't notice you. But how could you not?" And I said, "She's right outside." But, again, we got to do what makes us happy and comfortable. It's all good. I'm trying to think of some other tidbits of Margot's. She was close to Uncle Ty too. At some point, she lived with him. You know, both water signs, both odd numbers. 21 and 5 are odd numbers. So I don't know if they fell out of closeness. I don't know, but life is hard. It has a lot of challenges, and most people just want to be around people who lift them up. And I don't know. And that was seemed like my mom's goal. My mom is not going to put you down. She's not going to call you names. She shared what she has: housing, food, money. She has it to spare. You have it, especially if you're her, her sibling. So, mommy did the best she could, in my opinion, as being the elder sibling and helping them. While still trying to raise her family and take care of her people. The people that she actually gave birth to, and which is a legal responsibility today. 18. It was back then. I don't know if they changed that age responsibility for your offspring, and help her siblings too. That's a tall order. It's a tall order. Mm. And I don't think mommy ever felt appreciated by them or us. I don't know. I don't know. At one point, she was considering foster care kids, taking them in, and she said, "I, maybe they'll appreciate me." I never forget. I was in my 30s when she said this to me. In that same van, we're driving along. She was talking, and I said, "But what if they don't? What if they don't? We live in a world where black people are treated a certain way by non-black people, And we treat each other that way too. So what if they don't? That's like triple disappointment. If you don't feel appreciated by your siblings, you don't feel appreciated by your offspring, then you get foster care kids and then don't feel appreciated by them. That's like triple disappointment. That can send your psyche over the edge. Something my brother said recently. I should just say this for the siblings video, but we were on the phone. He said he too has helped a lot of people. They live in his house now. I'm like, you get that from mommy. That's one thing I knew I wouldn't pick up. I'm not interested in borders. And I could be booty butt ball broke. No, no, no. I'm not interested. I don't see what my mom went through with borders. No, thank you. Not all the borders were bad. Case a border here that's like, I paid your mama rent on time, not me. No, but I just, no, thank you. uh-uh. But my brother has tenants. Never mind his business. But he closed out this dialogue with, all the people I know that was selfish and never let people live with them, they happy as hell. I'm on the phone like, what do you mean expound? He said, I don't know. Their house is paid off. I don't know. They happy. They never let anybody live with them. They barely let people spend a night. And he's in the 60s, so he has a lot of older friends and, who homeowners. And I'm like, they didn't let people spend the night? No. They kept people out of their house. And their bills are paid. The house is paid off. They just pay their taxes and on the house, the property. And they seem happy as hell. I don't know if this thing with letting people live with you is a good idea. I'm like, you get that from mommy. He was like, yeah, I'm afraid I do, but I did. I don't think it's a good idea. And you have, and you really, it's the goodness of your heart. You really want to help. And I don't think people appreciate that help. They may say they do, but I don't know if it pays off in the end. Or in the beginning, if they paying their rent on time every month. And he's not the type, like, mom, you don't have to kiss my ass because you live here. Just pay your rent on time and clean up behind yourself. We good. We good. I don't have an ego where you got to kiss my ass. Because some people want you to pay your rent on time, clean up behind yourself, and entertain them. And that could mean any number of things. Kissing the ass. I don't know. I don't know. They want you as entertainment as well. Rent, cleanliness, and entertain me. And that could be taxing. Especially if you have a job. You come home and you're tired. You don't got no energy to be entertaining your landlady or your landlord. But no, that's what my mama or my brother. Just pay your rent on time and clean up behind yourself. That's it. That's too much to ask. That's how you show your appreciation, But I digress. Yeah. So, yeah, Margo, that very complex individual. I remember me and your sister was at her house in Queens, that house on the south side, in the middle apartment, her apartment. We were on the floor. And she had night lights, and it set the mood. It was a beautiful room, the living room. I'm like, oh, this is for us to watch movie night. We were on the floor looking at a movie, and she said, no, that's to save money. I cut the bigger lights on, Connet, draw more money out my daggone account. Paraphrase. So she had these night lights around her place, and that was really, really cool. She said they help in the middle of the night if I got to use the bathroom. I like night lights to this day because of her. I'm like, that's a good idea. They had the night light in the hall, so if you got to use the bathroom. You usually just flick on the big light and go and use the bathroom. She was like, no, save your money. Get the night lights, So we were talking, and in that moment, she spoke about maybe one day wanting to fall in love. And me, and your sister may not remember, but I remember. Because I'm a hopeless romantic. Forget Harlequin and romance novels, okay? I don't know why I didn't think that, because that's the stuff she reads. But I don't know, she's just so hardened and grouchy. She's grouchier than Shirley for what's happening, But I looked at her, me and Sean took a double take, like, you want to fall in love? She was like, I don't know, maybe one. He would have to be really, really special and really patient and, have his own. He can't eat my money or, anything like that. He has to be self-sufficient. And, yeah. And I was like, he exists because there's men who like big women. And she looked at me, but I didn't mean as insult. Hell, I'm plump too. That's what I said. I said, well, I'm plump. I'm big. But no, there's men who specifically like big women. She said, but I don't want a guy with that type of fetish. You mean like a chubby chaser? So we had a really cool evening that night. And I gave her my Stan Smith, a pair of Stan Smith Adidas. I did. I gave her those. I don't know if they just didn't fit right anymore because I was pregnant. Your feet could swell up, but they didn't fit. They hurt. I think it was it a men's 8? I don't know, but they was hurting. And brand new. I wore them once. Brand spanking white, pretty green new. And my friends was like, if you knew they was going to burglarize your place, you didn't need to give her those sneakers. She would have went and got them anyway. I was like, is that supposed to be comical? Oh God. But yeah, that's another warm memory that I hold dear. Me, her, and Shauna watching TV, uh, well, in her place, and I was scared of her cat, but the cat wasn't bothering me. It never bothered me, but remember they were moving, and one of her cats died. A bureau fell on the cat or something, and they said Jerry was being insensitive. Or was it Maisha being insensitive about it? I don't know. A male was insensitive about her dead cat with the moving to that place, into Queens. I wasn't there for that when they just shared that story here with me, allegedly hearsay. But yeah, Margo, very artistic, very artistic. She was, and a foodie. Foodies tend to like to chill with fellow foodies. All right, Allie, I think I'm gonna close this one out. I'm thinking, I'm stalling because I'm like, are there any other Margo memories? I remember on the train. Did I say this one already? Liv defended me. I know I'm 18 because Margo took umbrage, seemingly took umbrage with Liv defending me against some strange lady who got mad because the train is crowded and rocking and I'm bumping into her. And I'm telling the lady that I am naturally detached. I have no desire to touch anyone. The train is crowded, and I don't know. Liv threatened to beat her ass. It was very, very cold, and I believe she was going to do it. Yeah, she threatened to beat her ass. And Margo was like, why are you defending her? We don't want to train the crowded people now. And Liv was like, what do you mean? She's my niece. And she was like, no, no, how old are you now? And I said, 18. She said, no, she's 18. She's grown now. She had to defend herself. And she said she ain't, Liv said she ain't grown under me. She always be a child under me. And the moment you're not taking them words like I should have. Seriously, or I took them seriously because she's serious, because she's ready to beat up that lady. But you're not taking them. It's not a grain of salt. I don't know. But that she'll always be a child under me. That came calling back when I was in my 30s in the daggone airport and in Vegas. I'm like, maybe she really meant that. Like, really meant it. She's my niece, meaning she'll always be a child under me. 18? No, that's younger than this bitch. This is a grown ass bitch. And yeah, she was gonna whoop her ass on that train. I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good. And Margo was like, no, she's legal. She has to defend herself. She was like, nah, not while I'm standing here. So there was good moments with Lib too, as far as that type of defending thing in the streets. But I thought that was odd for Margo to say because she could see this woman was acting weird, very weird on the train. I know you're like, it's New York City. What do you expect? I was like, what is wrong with this lady? I kept saying, I am naturally detached. I have no desire to touch strangers. I don't even desire to touch people I know. But it was something with that chick. Oh, rebuke the devil in the blood of Jesus. Okay. Lib called me that. Did I finish that other thing? I can't go back to August 18, 2003. That video. Oh. And I was like, no. Devils burglarized pregnant girls' apartments. I ain't never did that. I ain't never asked somebody to bust checks for me. And Liv was screaming at the top of her lungs that I'm a liar. I'm like, I ain't got the guts and courage to lie on you. I have witnesses. Do I need to call a home girl? Okay. I got audio. I got recorded tapes. I'm like, Mama, you want to hear them? At a later date saying that to Mommy. I digress. But, all right, Allie, love you much. And, just pray for our DNA lineage. Pray for our family. I'm eternally excommunicated from all of them. But I still pray that our DNA heal. Break that curse of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Love you. Peace.